Tonight's the night. And it's going to happen again and again.
There is a great disturbance in the Force.
I have felt it.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
It's MAGGCAST time, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in schedule. It is Tuesday night. It's time to party. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. How's everybody doing out there? I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome to MAGGCAST, ladies and gentlemen. We already have 45 beautiful people in the chat, if not more, because Streamlabs likes to mess around with the numbers. I don't know what the hell is going on with that thing, but man, it has been screwy Louie ever since we've had like some of those those major updates that happened over the last little while. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, doesn't matter. We're here. We're live. We're ready to party. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. All right, let's go. That's right. Hit those like button, everybody. I see a lot of green in there. I see a lot of blue in there. I see a lot of people in the house. How you doing? Bald and live on a Tuesday night. That's right. But you know what, Arrow Nation? I am bald and live all the time. Extinction is in the house. What a great name. Extinction.
Asha Sama wins. Fatality.
There it is. Extinction. I don't think I've ever seen your name in the chat before, but here we are, man. Here we are. Welcome to the Tuesday night. Welcome to the show. So, where's Paul? Where's Paul? Are you talking about Cerebral Paul? Cerebral Paul can stay home. I'm sure he's listening in the background somewhere, but no, Paul's only here. Shadow Lynn, by the way, Shadow Lynn, formerly Kitty Angel. I remembered. You see, this old man can still remember. What's up, Little Table? How you doing? Beast Mode's in the house. How you guys doing? Deceiver's here. Brandon, nice to see you in the chat, buddy. SJM's here. No Talon's here. Meat Puppet. I'll get to all your names as it goes. Street, what's up, man? Whew. Probably not going to be doing a whole lot of drinking tonight, folks, if anything at all, because I'm meeting an old friend tomorrow, and we haven't got together in like 6 months. Iron Storm's in the house. How you doing? Go check out his show, by the way. He was before me earlier in the evening. Same with Arrow Nation. That's right. You start and end every Tuesday with bald people. That's right. That's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about. Because bald people are the best. You know what I mean? So, anyways. The soundboard. Hey, Artie, yeah, the soundboard is hilarious, man.
I'd buy that for $1.
Exactly. So anyhow, I'm going to be meeting this friend, and we haven't seen each other in like 6 months or whatever. Like, we do this like twice a year kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And what's up, Bobby? Stanislav, how are you? Oh, I'm not worried about Canada in the World Cup, man. It's listen, man, Canada in the World Cup, I knew it was just a matter of time. So, you know what I mean? Anyhow, what the hell was I talking about? Yeah, stay sober, yeah. Talia Gangsta, thank you. So, anyways, what's been going on is that we get together like twice a year, whatever the hell it is, right? And during that twice a year situation, it usually gets out of hand. You know what I mean? Ben Angelo, how you doing? Whew. Anyways, we got some things to talk about. Never mind about me getting together with friends tomorrow and all that kind of jazz. Went for a big, long walk with the kids, and man, I am sweating. It is hot outside. I cooled off, and then like as soon as I get back on the mic, I am sweating again. You know how it is. Plus, this room is actually really hot. You know what happened? I accidentally, this morning, I came down here this morning to do some gaming, right? And I ended up leaving the fan on, like the heater fan on this morning, and I walked away for like 8 hours. And I completely forgot that I left the damn thing on. So this room is like 1,000 degrees. And I'm in the basement, right? So the basement gets really hot as it is. Oh. But anyways. Well, it's been a week, hasn't it, folks? I know we did a show on Friday, and we had a lot to talk about then. But there's more to talk about. As we know, Monday happened. You know, now that I've had some time to sit and think about it for a while, yeah, exactly, Little Table. Oof is right. Like, dude, these space heaters get really hot, right? And so I left this damn thing on and completely forgot all about it. And then, like, came back down here, and I'm like, and like I said, the basement is usually nice and cool, and that's good for the shows because I get very animated when I do my shows and that kind of stuff, right? And so when I get all animated doing my shows, I get hot down here. So imagine right now, I feel like I'm in a bloody furnace. You know what I'm saying? Is that Gizmo on my shirt? It certainly is. There he is. I mean, this is the Gremlins Gizmo, not my Gizmo. My Gizmo looks exactly like this, though. You know how it is. Anyhow, what's up, Romeo? How you doing, man? So anyways, yesterday happened, and I had some time to like really sit back and think about it and, you know, like go through all the details and whatever else. And of course, more information is slowly starting to come out today. And literal table, the basement gets really cold, man. Like, especially first thing in the morning. And I had some more time to think about it. And, well, I mean, it's not like my thoughts have changed about the entire situation. However, I do feel that, you know, my thoughts are revolving on the entire situation, if that makes any sense. I know I'm sort of like talking in riddles right now, but I'll get into that as like we talk about, like, for example, like what happened to Obsidian today. We're going to talk about what happened to id Software today. That's a whole other thing too. What's up, J-Dog? How you doing? JD Spaff in the house as well. Goku's here. Yeah. And so now that I'm thinking about it and I'm looking at it, I'm like, you know, I know, like, even yesterday when I was talking about it in the middle of the show, on XNC, and I'm like, listen, like, you know, it could have been worse or whatever else. And it's not exactly, when I say things like it could have been worse, does not mean it's good. So let's clear the air of that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's a good thing at all. So let's clear that air up right away. Oh, J-Dog, you playing that new Doom DLC? I was actually going to ask that, by the way, chat. I was going to say, hey, like, what's going on with this Doom DLC? Did anybody play it yet? But we're going to get into that whole situation with the whole Doom DLC and what's happening with id Software. We're going to get into that a little bit later in the show. But anyhow, let's get into this. What's up, Guerrilla Tactics? However, I want to kind of address this whole situation first with the Sony thing, because I got to tell you, I told you guys a million times before, and I'll tell you again. When Sony makes a decision about anything, generally speaking, they're going to hold on to it. Right? Like, they're gonna hold their convictions. Like, they're not going to go back on it or anything like that. They're just going to do what they're doing, and that's all there is to it. So when they announced, for example, last week, well, it was July 1st. It was on Canada Day, okay? And they announced that they were going to go all digital in January 2028. I can tell you this right now, that even last night when I was doing the show with Jez, by the way, go check it out. It was myself, Jez, and Colt Eastwood. It was a great show last night. And the thing is that I said it right away. I said, listen, man, they're not going to reverse this. So petitions and, like, you know, Twitter pictures and all this stuff of people taking a picture of their, you know, physical collections saying and this and that. And I'm like, I'm telling you right now, and I'm not dissing that. I'm not dissing that. So please don't twist what I'm saying here. I'm not dissing any of that stuff. What I'm saying is, I'm like, if you know Sony and I know Sony, when it comes to Sony, they make their decision. It ain't changing. So this is not something that they wanted to float out there, right? And just be like, let's see how they react. No, they don't care. When they say we're doing this, that's it. Unless there is something absolutely financially catastrophic that's going to happen to them, which I don't see happening, then they're not going to change it, reverse it. They're not going to do like you know how Microsoft does that. Oh, we're sorry, you know, we didn't want to upset anybody, so we're going to do this, or we're not doing that, or whatever. I'm telling you. You know, like that. The GIF thing. You know, I tell you, we don't care. We don't care. That's exactly how they're like. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. It is what it's going to be, and that's the way they roll. You know. And so, anyways, the reason why I'm bringing this up about them not really caring, the first post they do, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome to hell.
The first post that they do since the announcement on July 1st. It's now July what? It's July 7th today. So 6 days later of silence, and, you know, everybody's freaking out because they're expecting, you know, the thing is, you're also expecting, like, a Microsoft response. Like, you know, like, people freak out on social media, and then Microsoft releases a statement, like, the next day, and they're like, oh, we're sorry, and then they, like, you know, that whole thing, and they talk to people, and then there's the parasocial relationships, and then whatever else, right? So they don't do that. So Sony didn't do anything for 6 days, so people are going insane. Like, people are going nuts. Like, why aren't they talking to us? And I'm like, they're not going to. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to. So the first thing they do, folks, is after 6 days, I'm sure you guys saw it, the only thing that they finally come out of the woodworks and finally say is that they announce a new fighting stick.
You're fired!
I mean, that's kind of funny. What's up, Sports? How you doing? The Element... Dude, you got to shorten that name. The Elemental Hero, the Shadow LDW. My God. That's a long name. I'm just going to call you Elemental. Elemental, I'm going to address that. And he says, I know that people have been canceling their subscriptions and pre-orders. That's fine. However, I tell you this. I want to see those same people hold that conviction when Call of Duty drops and GTA Online, whatever they call it, GTA Online 2 or whatever they're going to call it. You watch how every single one of those people, not every single one, because there's some people who will hold their convictions. That's true. Okay? There are people who will hold their convictions. However, the majority of people, when nobody's looking, because no one's looking, they're just, they're on social media like, tick, 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 whatever, right? And then all of a sudden, like 4 months later, when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 drops and it's hot and it's getting good ratings and everybody's playing it, every single one of those frauds are going to go right back and go click, and they're going to resub. And then when GTA Online 2 drops, whatever they decide to call it in December, let's say if they end up dropping in December, because traditionally I think it's usually about 30 days after release they release the online or whatever else. However, I think they may hold off this year, folks. I mean, the whole GTA Online thing, I think they might wait till January. Just a thought. Because I can't see them dropping it like the week of Christmas. It just seems kind of weird. Not that Rockstar gives a shit, because Rockstar will just do what they do, and you know what I mean? They know that everybody... It could be Christmas morning. You know what I mean? Like, if GTA 6 dropped on Christmas morning and they only sold physical copies, right? Like, no digital, people would literally abandon their families and go line up outside of Best Buy to go get it. Like that's how people roll when it comes to GTA, right? So they're all gonna as soon as October hits and all the multiplayer games come back on, click, 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 click. Everybody be going right back to their online subscriptions. They're all gonna buy Wolverine. They're all gonna buy Call of Duty. They're all gonna buy GTA 6. And that's the other thing. And by the way, Elemental, I'm not like taking shots at you. I'm just saying, like, I'm saying a lot of this stuff that we see online is performative bullshit. A lot of it. I'm not saying all of it. A lot of it is. And as a result of that, I don't pay any attention to that shit, especially on Twitter. It's just like, fuck off. I barely even post anymore. Like, the only time I really post these days is when I'm like, I share my videos, like, hey guys, I did a new video or this and that or whatever, right? You know what I mean? So I do all that. But like, at the end of the day, when it comes to this, a lot of it's performative. Anyways, back to this whole situation with the Sony thing. And I've been trying to tell everybody all week, I'm like, guys, they're not going to reverse this, and they don't care. And the other thing is, too, and we talked about this on Friday, is that they really don't care because the rest of the industry doesn't give a shit. They want this, too. They don't want to be paying distributors, packagers, shippers, truckers, train drivers, plane, pilots and all that shit to fly their hard copies all over the world. They don't want to do that. It's costing them a lot of money. They are dying for this industry to go 100% digital, and it's been going on for like literally a decade and a half. Everybody wants to be like Steam.
Welcome to hell.
Xbox has been trying to push that since 2013, mind you. Xbox at that time, a lot of it was still physical. They didn't want people doing the second-hand, third-hand, fourth-hand sales. But then, Game Pass in 2017, all digital. I don't have to go through all the bullshit again because you guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And all these companies have been angling us towards that digital future. Digital only Xbox Series S, digital Xbox Series X, digital PS5 Pro, digital PS5. You know what I'm saying? Steam only digital. I get it. And like, I'm not saying to cut out the physical. I'm saying they've been trying to push this agenda for a very long time. So now the other thing is too, is this is something else I wanted to bring up real quick before I get back to the Sony thing, which is still funny to me, is this. How many people canceled their GTA? So people came like, I'm canceling my PS Plus. Okay, cool. And that's fine. How many people canceled their GTA 6 pre-orders? How many people canceled their GTA 6 pre-orders? Oh, what's that? It went from 39 to almost 50?
You're fired!
You see what I'm saying? That's why the older you get, folks, and I know a lot of people in here are not quite my age, but like in the vicinity of my age, as some people are even older than me. You know what the thing is, man? The older you get, usually, you start to cut out the white noise, the bullshit, whatever else. You slowly start to walk away from it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any tolerance for people who are problematic to my life. I have no tolerance for people who are problematic to my channel. Or my social media, or my DMs, or whatever, right? Some guy left me a nasty message today on one of my videos, and I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, if they say something like that, they disagree with me, I would never do anything. I'm not one of those guys. I'm like, you're banned. Like, I don't do that stuff. That's nonsense, because everybody can disagree with each other and all be friends. That's what friends are all about, and that's what a community's all about. You're allowed to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? However, when you get nasty and personal and this and that, you're fucking banned. Period.
Yeah!
You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's a whole different story. But everybody else, you know, you can disagree with me. I can have, let me pull up a name here. J-Dog, okay? J-Dog in the chat could be like, Mag, I disagree with you. I think you're wrong on this or whatever. And I'd be yeah, okay, cool. I'm like, tell me your side. And you tell me, like, you know, your side of an argument. I'll tell you mine. And then I'm like, you know what? That's totally cool that we have differing opinions. And that's totally fine. Anyways, let's get back to this Sony thing. So the thing is, it's not so much that they're, like, you know, quote unquote tone deaf or anything like that or whatever. It's because they've made their decision months ago. They've probably already cut all ties for physical distribution in the future with, like, you know, contracts, companies, because that shit doesn't happen overnight, guys. This stuff happens, like, way in advance because they make a contract. They're like, all right, the contract ends in, December 2027. Do we renew for January 2028? And then Sony says, nah, forget it. We're not going to renew because we're just going to stop doing the physical, whatever. They have to tell these guys ahead of time because you make contracts. You don't make a contract for here to next week. You make contracts years in advance. So when they have to, like I said before, packaging, manufacturing, plastics, wrappings, warehouse space, distribution. Then on top of that, you have to talk to the stores because you have to angle and you have to negotiate for storefront space, whatever, right? Retail space, all that kind of stuff. That costs a shitload of money to these guys, right? And yes, at the same time, does that hurt people's jobs? Absolutely, because now there's a lot of people who are not. Now they're not going to be out of jobs. They're going to be doing distribution of other things. It just won't be physical games. You know what I mean? So if they don't do that, well, then they're still going to be doing distribution of, Lululemons and, like, pantyhose and, like, makeup and whatever. Tools for, like, you know, for Home Depot and all that kind of shit. So you're still doing the job. It's just now you're no longer doing that. But anyways, the point is this. Then they released this thing today, and all they did was do an advertisement for the fight stick, and people lost their friggin' minds. And I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, like, I wasn't one of the, I didn't get outraged. I didn't, like, you know, throw a fit on the front lawn. I didn't, like, you know, jump on the lawn and start ripping out the grass with my bare hands. Like, I didn't do anything. I was just like, this is kind of funny because, like, this was totally expected. Like, what did you expect from them? That, like, when they said they're doing this, they're doing it. I would say of any of the companies that does not go back on their, you know, business plan, it's Sony. You got to say that to them. Now, someone else brought something else interesting today, and this is not a whataboutism, okay? So before everybody loses their minds, because, you know, you're going to say, oh, they're blaming Xbox. That is the most, like, that is a childish sort of, like, you know, knee-jerk reaction to what some people are saying. However, there's this, and this was an interesting point, and I want to bring it up because another YouTuber said this earlier. Was it? Yeah, I think it was today or last night. I can't remember. And said this. It says, you know, Sony wouldn't be able to get away with all this shit if they had more stiff competition, right? That's what the other person, I'm not going to say who it was, okay? But I say, that's actually a pretty solid point. So I thought about that, and I'm like, you know what? And it says, if Xbox had, you know, 85 million, 90 million consoles in the wild or whatever else, then Sony wouldn't be able to just stomp all over the place and do whatever they want. Well, right now, they are literally the cock of the walk because there's not... Who's competing with them? Besides Steam. But Steam is their own little thing. You know, they canoodle in the PC space. They do their thing, whatever else, right? But besides, in the console space, who's their competition? They have no competition. Switch 2 is not doing the numbers it's supposed to be doing. It's sold really fast, really well because they actually had stock. I mean, we don't have to go back to that whole story. But I'm just saying... But if they were neck and neck with Xbox and like, let's just say they did this only digital situation or whatever else, right? And they made this announcement, people got pissed off. Xbox could have come out the next day and did one of those Sony 2013 E3 things. Oh, this is how you share games. They could have clowned on them. They could say, well, we got physical media over here. And I know we already have 90 million consoles in the wild, but, you know, we're almost neck and neck with Sony here. So, you know, come over to Xbox. People would be more inclined to do that because they'd be like, well, they're just as popular. And that's why when the Xbox One and the PS4 generation came out, Sony and Xbox, even though Sony squeaked past them on the PS3 era because Xbox 360 was dominating for a majority of it, and then PlayStation caught up at the end. However, they were pretty much neck and neck. And as a result of that, that's why it was so devastating for Xbox to do what they did with that whole DRM thing or whatever else, and Sony jumped all over it. Because Sony was kind of on their back heel at the beginning of PS4, and then they had a roaring comeback in the PS4 generation. You know how it goes. But right now, with Xbox dropping the kind of news that they've been dropping, not closing studios, but selling off studios, sending other ones independent, firing about laying off a ton of people, 1,600 now, 1,600 later. By the way, anybody else find that a little suspicious that they didn't just say 30? I mean, I know that, we just added it up. We're not stupid. We could do math. We could just say, well, it's 3,200 people. 4,800 if you include Microsoft employees, which are not part of Xbox. We're talking about Xbox, but still, they're like 1,600, 1,600, 1,600. I'm like, are they doing that just to make it sound better? Like, you know what I mean? It's so fucking obvious. Like, come on. It's so obvious. Just tell us the number. We're not stupid. But, I mean, mind you,
It's all part of the plan.
there are a lot of stupid people out there, so I mean, they'll fall for it. Anyways, we'll get into that in just a second. All I wanted to do is open the show with talking about this whole Sony thing. And, like, listen, man, even Colt asked last night, he asked myself and Jez, he goes, do you think they're going to go back on it? I'm like, nope. And Jez said, nope. And Colt said, nope. And I'm like, they made their decision. That's all there is to it. And I think what's going to happen here, folks, is that the physical thing, and not the physical thing will just end up becoming a niche sort of thing, like kind of like vinyl, or you know what I mean? Like you can still get it, but you're gonna have to pay a premium for it. They'll develop, they'll produce like 1,000 of them, and that's all there is to it. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see how that all goes down. But even then, if they don't have disk drives in the future, what the hell is the point of them making the physical? Because I can tell you right now, I could bet you my balls that Helix will not come with a disk drive. Absolutely not. Now, I don't have any concrete information on that. I'm just saying I don't think it's coming with a disk drive, period. It's a fucking PC, guys. It's a PC in a console form. It's not coming with a disk drive. I'm telling you right now. We'll do a gentleman's bet. We'll just shake like this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will own it. I will own it. If I'm wrong, I will absolutely own it. I'll take it right on the chin. Pause. But you know the PS6 is going to be all digital. I mean, the PS5 Pro is all digital right now. You could see where it's heading, folks. Nintendo with their little digital, those little digital friggin' whatever the hell it's called for the Switch 2. You know what I mean? Your little virtual cartridges and shit like that. They're all moving towards it. So we all see it coming, But the fact that that Sony released that thing, I thought it was kind of funny. I mean, I know some people get pissed off, but I thought it was hilarious. What's up, Chava? How you doing, man? And they're not going to go back on it. That's all there is to it. They made the decision, and I'd be very shocked. And I'll tell you this. And if I'm wrong again, I'll be the first one to say I'm wrong. But I would be incredibly shocked if Sony turned back on that. But anyways, that's all I had to say about that. But we will move on to the whole Xbox thing in just a moment. But before we do that, we got to catch up with the community because the community is so generous and so loving and so awesome. Let's get into it. And we got Italia Gangster, a member of 1 month. What's up, Italia Gangster? He is a top-tier maggot, ladies and gentlemen. He gets a song. This is for you, Italia Gangster. Here it is. Italia Gangster, thank you so much. And member Chad, he says, Meg, can I get a little Italian jingle? Oh, well, shit, there you go. You just got it. Please, sorry if I interrupted your flow. You never interrupt my flow, brother. I hustle and flow just like the movie. Thank you so much, Italia Gangster. Appreciate your support. All your support, brother. You've been absolutely incredible. And we got Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat coming in with 5 Australian didgeridoos, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Our Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, monster supporter of the channel as well. And he says, what? He goes, fill me in on this no more disc thing. I've not heard of this. Grandpa Barbecue, you're hilarious, man. I know the news, it takes a while to get to Down Under. You know how it is, because we gotta send the news by pigeon to Australia. They don't have electricity yet, so yes, they tell the time by sundials. So it takes a while for Grandpa Barbecue to get all the news. Thank you, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat, for the 5, man. I appreciate you very much. And right away, on top of me just talking about Italia Gangster, the man has come back. Oh no! Here it is. Here it is. There it is. Italia Gangster has gifted 5 gifted members of the channel. Thank you so much, Italia Gangster. That was what I'm talking about. There you go. Big support from Italia Gangster. The man is out of control. Thank you so much, Italia Gangster. And for all those new channel members out there,
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, all of you new maggots out there. And hey, Shadowlin was one of them. Thank you guys so much. And then welcome to hell. You guys are maggots for life. That's the way it goes. And I'm sure one of my lovely moderators will actually send a link to the members-only Discord. You can go check that out. It is a lot of fun. You now have access to the Discord. And it is like a 24-hour party in there, man. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild. But yes, thank you so much, Italian Gangster, for that. And we've got Adi. No records, Adi. No records, Adi. Artie comes in with $2 to $2 US dollars, and he goes, "Thank you so much, Artie. Appreciate you guys. Can you play the song? Oh, you want the pony song for?" He says, "Play the pony sound for me, Meg. I could do that just for you, Artie. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, and this is for you."
Ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies.
There you go, Artie. You got the pony song. You got the pony song. You got the pony song. Thank you so much. Who's screaming my name in the chat? Maven, how you doing, man? Nice to see you guys. Sorry, the chat kind of froze up on me for a minute there. It was getting pretty wild. I don't like I said. Hey, meet the cheetah. How you doing, man? Yeah, it's pushing polygons in the house. How are you? Infernal Earth. Correct. It's been years in the making. Yes, this whole thing has been years in the making, man. And yeah, anyways, as Eddie Garcia's in the house. 44 likes. You need 100 more. Yes, I certainly do. Thank you. The soundboard is so much funny. Arrow Nation, thank you very much for putting that the Discord link in the chat. QMax, how you doing, man? Yeah, he has to kill 5 giant spiders a koala just to get a phone signal. That's right. That's how Australia rolls, man. Hey, listen, you know what I got to do? Because we got quite a few Aussies in the chat that come here every week. I'm going to have to put some Australian stuff in the soundboard. What do you guys think? You guys think I should do some Australian stuff in the soundboard? I think it's a good idea. I think it's a good idea. I'm going to do that by next week. Grandpa Barbecue, and of course, I've got many other Australians who watch the show. I'm going to have to put some Australian soundboard stuff in here because I think it'd be hilarious. No, Italian Gangster, Shadowlin used to be, no, not Bad Kitty. No, her name was Kitty Angel before. Yeah, she changed her name from Kitty Angel to now Shadowlin. Philly Boy, how you doing, man? Is this a safe place? I like digital games. I mean, I've been playing digital for 11 years. I haven't bought the last physical game I got, and I talked about this. I asked last night on XNC. I'm like, what was the last physical game you guys bought? And last physical game I bought was 2015, ladies and gentlemen, 2015, and it was EA's Star Wars Battlefront 1. That's right. Star Wars Battlefront 1.
There is a great disturbance.
That's right. That's right, Emperor Palpatine.
I have felt it.
So, yes, the last one I got was Star Wars Battlefront 1 from EA, the reboot, whatever. And you know what? I got to tell you something. I know it's going to sound crazy. I thought that the first Battlefront was way better than the second one. I know that's crazy because I know how the second one launched with all the the microtransactions and the pay-to-win bullshit and the this and the that and all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, like years down the line, they supported the living hell out of it. You know what I mean? And then they had all these like updates and everything else. But my personal feeling is that I played the living hell out of Star Wars Battlefront 1. And like I said, not the old one from back in the day. I mean the reboot that they did in 2015. I loved it. And not only that, I got 1,000 out of 1,000 achievement points and I could go playing it on Xbox. And I also bought all the DLC, and not only did I get all the DLC, I 100% did all the DLC and got all the achievements there too. Jabba's Palace, Cloud City. It was dope, man. It was amazing. And when you had like the big headphones on, and so I had like these Turtle Beach 360 Elite or something. I can't remember what the hell they're called. They're 450 Elite. I can't remember the name of them. These big ass headphones with these like huge subwoofers in them, and when you threw like a thermal detonator, like your head exploded and like your teeth like flew out of your mouth. It was ridiculous, man. Iron Balls in the house. How you doing, man? So yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, that was the last physical game I bought, was Star Wars Battlefront 1, and that was in 2015. So that was 11 years ago, folks. 11. Yeah, I do. I love my achievements and I love my trophies. I go for both. I mean, I'm just under 400,000 achievement points on Xbox. I mean, I stopped for about like 3 years, so I kind of really fell off because I could tell you this: if I was going strong the way I was before, I'd be at 1 million gamer score by now. But I ended up starting doing a lot of trophies as well because I kind of like the idea of getting the platinums. So this generation alone, I got 55 platinums on the PlayStation 5 with a brand new account because I started from scratch when I got the PS5. I had an old account with a different name, and then I said, no, I'm going to start from scratch right in 2020, and I did. And I got 55 platinums, 56 platinums as of this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Days Gone Remastered. I got the platinum for Days Gone Remastered. So I got 2 platinums on the same game. I played the PS5 version of the game, and then I played the remake. I got like the, not remake, the remaster, the PS5 Pro remaster. They did a big overhaul. It was like $10. And I did that, and I did all the trophies again, and I got the platinum again on it because I love that game so much, man. And I got to tell you something. Never mind the physical stuff, the physical games, or the lack of physical games and all that other shit. Let me tell you something. The biggest fucking L that Sony ever took.
Ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies and
The biggest L
ponies
Sony
and
ever did
ponies
was
and
not
ponies
greenlight
and
a
ponies.
Days Gone 2. Like, to hell with them. Days Gone was one of my favorite games of last generation, hands down. And even this generation, I still adore that game. The fact that I just went back and platinumed it again now, and I did it this morning. I got the last trophy this morning. I love that game. The fact they did not greenlight that and instead we're trying to get some of these bigger studios to work on this live service stuff. Listen, man, live service is fine and you want to take a shot at it, and if you fail at a bunch of them, it's totally fine because one out of like 8 games makes it or whatever when it comes to live service, or maybe 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 12 will actually make it. And Sony's got 3 live service games that actually succeeded this generation. So I can understand why they'd be like, all right, we'll keep doing it. But don't make your first party single player studios work on it, you jackasses. What are you doing? Get some other stupid studio to do it. Don't get like Ben's to do it. Make them. They should have been making Days Gone 2 in 2020 so that we would be getting Days Gone 2 right now. Okay, it would take about, I would say it'd take about 5 years. Deceiver, cut that shit out. He says Days Gone was mid. Stop the cap. No, I'm never going to stop the cap on that game. I love that game. Hey, what's up, Alex? How you doing, man? I love that game. And the story was great, too. And they left it on a cliffhanger. Well, I mean, it ended, like, appropriately, but there was still a bit of a cliffhanger there that you were like, oh, shit, they could really move on with this story. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, it never happened. But we're going to have to wait and see because you never know, man. You never know. You never know. You never know. But either way, before we get into Microsoft stuff, we have some more community stuff coming right in. We got Grandpa Barbecue Game Cow coming right back in once again. Let's go with another 2 Australian didgeridoo. Thank you, Grandpa Barbecue Game Cat. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. And he says, we need the "What's up, Skip?" on the soundboard. Absolutely, we need that. That's still one of the funniest things I've seen. Whenever like a kangaroo comes, like smashing some guys like pottery in his garden or something, or he's out, and then of course the guy comes out. Hey, what's up, Skip? Yeah. Get out of the garden, you fuckwit. Yes, I'll find something, Grandpa Barbecue. Don't you worry about it. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, and we got Top Gamer Pro coming in with a $2 super chat as well. Thank you so much, Top Gamer Pro. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And he says, one big in the world, can't wait for the dust to go. Thank you so much, Top Gamer Pro. My friend. And we got Literal Table, a top-tier maggot for 8 months, sends in a member chat as well. Let's go, Top Gamer. Oh, sorry, Literal Table. My goodness. I read the names were next to each other. Sorry, Literal Table. I didn't mean to take away from your thunder. And Literal Table says in his member chat, top-tier maggot. Member chat. He says, never forget that DICE stopped supporting Battlefront 2 to work on Battlefield 2042 and later 6. Oh my god. Yeah! I know. What a disaster. Although, you know what, like I said, Battlefront 2, I mean, if you go back and play it now, you're like, holy shit, they did a lot of work on this after the fact. But the problem is, you already messed up your first impression with Battlefront 2, right? So you know how the saying goes. You only have one chance of making a first impression, and they fucked that up royally. with that whole pay-to-win thing and the microtransactions and all the drama that went with that. It was crazy, man. So they really screwed that up. But the first one, mwah, I don't care that there was no story. Mwah, chef's kiss. I love that game. And we got Italia Gangsta coming in once again, ladies and gentlemen. He has dropped another 5 gifted members in the chat. Let's go. Italia Gangster once again coming through with a massive support. Thank you so much. He has already gifted 10 gifted members in the chat tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely incredible support. And for all the new maggots out there,
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
welcome to hell, new maggots. Welcome to hell. And make sure you thank Italia Gangster, everybody in there for gifting the members. And, of course, once again, Aero Nation, thank you so much, Aero Nation, has dropped the Discord link in the chat. So go check it out. Go join it. Make some new friends. We got tons of people in there. It is ridiculous, and it's awesome at all times. Like I said, 24 hours a day. You could show up out there at 4:07 a.m., and that shit is just popping off in the Discord. It's wild, man. It's totally because we have people from all over the world in all different time zones, right? So there's always something going down in there. So go check it out, please. Keep that community thriving, man. Yes, Eddie Garcia, 55 platinums. Actually, now it's 56.
PlayStation.
As of this morning. The next platinum I'm going on the PlayStation. PlayStation. The next platinum I'm going for is going to be Lego Batman. And at the same time, I will be working on Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And then after that, I still have to wrap up the second half. I'm like in between, I'm going to sort of fiddle around with the second Lego Harry Potter game because I platinumed the first one. I got to platinum the second one. So, the OCD won't let me do it, man. MJ Fadeaway, how you doing, man? What does he say in the chat? He goes, Mag, how does it feel to see that so much of what... Oh, interesting. I'm going to read this, chat, because it's actually quite important.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
MJ Fadeaway says, Mag, how does it feel to see that so much of what you said those weeks ago was proven correct? Oh, weird, isn't it? They looked at you like you had 3 heads when you said Blade was in danger, and you were right. Oh, I know that. Yeah. And like I said before, yes, thank you, MJ Fadeaway. I appreciate that some people remember. Everybody else has, not everybody, but a lot of people out there have what I like to call collective amnesia. And I just don't engage with them. I just don't engage with those people. I'm just like, you know what, fuck you, man. Like, if you're going to turn on someone that fast because of something that you don't like to hear, then you were never really here for me. And that means that I'm not going to be here for you. And that's all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. And that goes for YouTubers. That goes for other personalities out there. If you're gonna turn on me, I mean, if you're gonna have like a conversation with me, that's fine. I'd be like, hey, I disagree with you or whatever else. But if you turn on me like in a nasty way, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm not confrontational. I never have been. I'm respectful of people's space. I'm respectful of people's names. I never call out people by name on shows, stuff like that, or anything like that. I don't do that. But if you do that to me, you're fucking dead to me. And that's all there is to it. And that's the way I look at it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I look at it. Not in a nasty way. It's just like, you're out of my life. Because like I said, we're only here for a limited amount of time, folks, okay? And yeah, exactly. They disappeared like the roaches they are. Exactly. Thank you. RPG's in the house. What's up, True Serum? How you doing, man? Pushing polygons. I can't say that name out loud because YouTube doesn't like it, but that is pretty funny. Yeah, it did get one of those reaction videos. Just read his chat there. MJ Fadeaway says, you're a legend, Mag. You took the W in the end. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't coming from me. It was just information that was passed on to me, and I just thought it'd be interesting for, someone to get it. Jay Silver, how you doing? And Seth Monsters comes in and drops a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. There you go, Seth Monsters. Seth Monsters, I haven't talked to you in a long time. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. And ladies and gentlemen, listen to this. He says, hey, buddy, did someone say Days Gone? Ladies and gentlemen, the man has dropped a Days Gone code in the chat. Go get it, go get it, go get it. Let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. That man has donated more codes in this chat than any other YouTube channel I have ever seen. Give a shout out to Seth Monsters. What a monster in the community. Every pun intended. He is a pillar of this community. And no, not just because he donates to this channel. It's because he's out there just spreading the love to everybody else there. So I want to know who got the game in the chat. So let me know, and you will absolutely enjoy the game. I'm telling you right now, man. You will not regret it. So let me know who got it. Let me know who got the code for Days Gone in the chat. So thank you so much, Seth Monsters. Appreciate you once again, my friend. I watched the ending of the first Karate Kid last night, actually, as a matter of fact. Just the song. Anyways, let's talk about Microsoft. We got to talk about Microsoft. Let's talk about it, man. We got to talk about it. I didn't miss anything, did I? No, I got everything. All right. Let's talk about Microsoft. Please, I need to know. Oh, Jay Silver, look at that. He goes, I got Pragmata on launch day because of Seth. Big homie. There you go. There you go, Seth Monsters. You're going to get some extra love today. Let's go. Yeah, so let me know in the chat who got the code for Days Gone, and make sure you thank Seth Monsters. And I just want to know, just for fun. Anyways, let's talk about Microsoft. Hey, no, Pushy Polygons, it's all good, man. Like I said. It's all good, man. Every opinion is welcome here. Okay, let's talk about Xbox. So, we already know what happened. We all know how it went down. And, well, more came out today. Let's talk about that first. Let's talk about the Obsidian got hit with a bunch of layoffs today. So that was the other thing. So, like, they didn't exactly close studios, right? But, I mean, they basically sent them out to pasture. Arcane, I think, is, like, my gut feeling tells me that Arcane is not going to get a buyer. They're pretty much getting shut down. I mean, I may be wrong, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. And Blade is pretty much dead. So, like, it's not doing well. The game is not doing well. So I don't think Arcane is getting a buyer. I think if anybody was going to already bite on them, I think we would have heard it by now. I mean, there's still time, but the way that it sounds like that what they're doing with the French Labor Board, and I already know because the French Labor Board is very similar to the Canadian one, and I've been dealing with the Canadian Labor Board for 27 years directly, and especially being in the position I was in the corporation, I know all the Canadian labor laws, and the French labor laws are very similar. What they're basically doing is they're setting up, at this point, it sounds like they're setting up protection for the staff so that they're covered in terms of compensation after like it closes down, so that they've got X amount of time to find a new job and still be fully paid by the company, blah blah blah. And that's what it sounds like what's going down. Hey, what's up, Jedi Warrior? How you doing, man?
It is unavoidable.
Here you go, little.
It is your destiny.
There you go, a little Star Wars for you there, Jedi Warrior. So, anyways, I don't think Arcane is making a comeback, and I certainly don't think they're keeping him. And I mean, they basically have two of the worst possible things going on right now for them. The people that I know who played the alpha for Blade said the game was not good. That was the first thing. But the funny thing is, I heard that back in February, the first time someone played it, and then someone else played it, and I think it was in May. I think it was May. It was like it was approximately like the end of April, beginning of May. It was like a month before I left for LA. And another person reached out to me and says that he had played the alpha build, and he said that the game was not good as well. So I had two separate people play the alpha, like a build of the game, and they said the game was not good. And then, whatever happened over the last little while or whatever. And then, of course, now you got two things going against you. Well, three things going against you. One, at least the two people that I know who played the alpha build of the game said the game was not good. And then now it's coming out that they are way over budget, and they internally delayed the game further. If that is not just begging to get your head cut off by Amy Hood, never mind Asha. Amy Hood is like, you know what I'm saying? Because basically at this point, she's practically running the show. You know what I'm saying?
It's all part of the plan.
Over budget and internally delaying means it's going to cost more money. I could guarantee you this. It is actually cheaper for them to just shut it down. And they could save a ton on tax. Like, it's basically a tax break for them. I mean, it happened, like, even in Hollywood, guys. They made the Batgirl movie, for God's sake. You know, you ever heard about that? Like, the DCEU? They made a Batgirl movie, finished the movie, including, like, everything. Soundtrack, editing, the whole 9 yards. The movie's finished. It was in the can. And Warner Brothers took it and put it in a vault because it was cheaper for them to not release it because it was so bad than it would be. And they actually saved tens and tens of millions of dollars in tax credit. They got tax credits for not releasing the movie. It was actually better for them more financially to not release the movie. 100% the same thing's going to happen with Blade. And it's nowhere near done. Like, Blade is nowhere near done. Like I said, I know somebody who played a build of it in May, and it was still nowhere near completion. And on top of it, wasn't good. So that, like, it wasn't even promising. So that's a bit of a situation. You know what I'm saying? 1500, how you doing, man? Yeah, so, like, the thing is now, now they seem to be gutting portions of Obsidian. I know some people. Now, I saw some people last night. There's some channels out there that, they do like the woke versus non-woke stuff and whatever. That's like kind of their shtick and all that. And I was listening to a couple of them last night because I listen to everybody, folks. I listen to absolutely everybody from every angle. And the reason why is because not only do I want to see what everybody else is talking about, I think it gives me, like, because even if I listen to a 2-hour show, let's say, of someone who I don't agree with at all, but that person might say one thing in 2 hours that makes me go, whoa, and might blow my mind. And then I could take that from their show, put it into my brain. You know what I mean? Like the pensieve, like Dumbledore with the pensieve. I could, like, pull the strand of thought out and put it in the pensieve and, like, have it swirling around. So if I need to go back and, like, you know what I mean? And, like, utilize that thought process that person had. That's what I like to do. So there was some people last night, they were celebrating the fact that a bunch of people of Obsidian got, fired because there was a bunch of, like, they're like a bunch of woke activists work at Obsidian and blah, 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 and all this other shit. And I'm like, and they're like, oh, they were calling out people in the audience, like, oh, if you don't like our game, then don't buy it and whatever, and this and that, whatever. And, there was that going on. And I'm like, I don't think that really had anything to do with them getting fired. I think it had more to do with the fact, I mean, that was their angle because that's what they do on their channels, and that's fine, whatever. You do whatever you want. There's always an audience for anything. But what I think the reason why they got gutted is because their games didn't perform. Now, did they do their job in terms of cadence? Absolutely. Obsidian made a shit ton of stuff for Xbox this generation. And they followed through in spades. And for them to get gutted is because, while they didn't perform, is because I think... Now, the thing is, it didn't perform because I don't think they connected with the audiences on some of the stuff. Right? Like, Grounded did incredibly well. Grounded 1, Grounded 2. Right? Those did very well. But the other ones didn't really click with anybody. You know what I mean? Like Avowed and Outer Worlds 1, Outer Worlds 2. Like, they didn't really do anything. Like, it was kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't really... I mean, I tried Avowed. I got Game Pass till November. And so I'm like, I never actually picked up Avowed. I mean, never played Avowed. So I'm like, well, I got Game Pass now. Let me give it a shot. So I downloaded it like 3 weeks ago. I played it, and I didn't like it. Yeah. You know what's funny? My name is IGN. That's a funny name. The funny thing is, I actually haven't heard from that guy in like a week. So I'm actually kind of wondering now. I'm starting to wonder. My name is IGN. Daniel Pearson, how you doing, man? TU Truth. Did I say hi to you yet? I don't know. Anyhow, this is the thing. People weren't engaging in the game. And the thing is, now I know some people were trying to angle this, like when they went over to PlayStation, when they did the Project Latitude stuff and all that, and they sent it over there, and they're like, well, you're not buying the game. And I'm like, that's not... And I'm not defending, like, I'm not defending the PlayStation side. I'm just talking about the hypocrisy of it. I don't like hypocrisy. Hypocrisy, I have a big problem with. And there's a lot of hypocrisy. And the hypocrisy was this. There were some people I saw on social media and whatever, and even on YouTube, and they're blaming PlayStation players not buying those games like Avowed and Indiana Jones and this and that. Like, look at the sales, they're shit, and therefore Project Latitude failed. I'm like... And I know I've said this on the channel before, so I'm going to say it again. You didn't play the games. So you can fuck right off with that. Because you didn't play the games. Like I said before, I said it a million times, you guys can do it yourself. It's a little homework. Go turn on your Xbox right now, or your Xbox app if you're on PC, whatever you got. All right? Go to the achievements section and go look at the percentage of those achievements. They did not play those games either. So... to lay it at the feet of Sony players not buying those games at near full price, like Starfield and whatever else. They didn't really do great. I'm like, yeah, because you didn't play them either. So can we have an adult conversation about how the games weren't connecting with gamers? Because if Xbox gamers weren't playing the games on Game Pass, for God's sake, no one asked you to buy those full price, and people weren't even playing them then. And we're not talking about hard achievements like get 75 headshots in 3 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean? It was just get to level 2. That was still a rare achievement on a lot of games for like a year after the game's released. And don't take shots at me. You can take shots at me. I'll just go like this. I'll just dodge the bullets like that. Look. It's not me saying it. It's right there on your screen. Turn on your Xbox now and take a look. Well, now they're gone up a little bit. But like for the first year and a half, and about like 45 minutes into the game to get a story achievement, and people weren't even playing them. It was still a rare achievement. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Right? Even like to finish like Outer Worlds 2, just to finish the game on any difficulty was like less than 8%. I think it was like 7.6%, something like that. You know what I mean? So it was a whole thing. So to lay it at the feet of PlayStation players not buying those games, that's not fair either. So there's, you know what I mean? So it's like we have to come to the understanding, folks, that nobody was playing those games. Well, not nobody, but like very few. Obviously enough to cause concern for the fact that 4 studios got sent away. A fifth, 100% is going to get shut down, being Arcane. And then the other ones are getting gutted. And Obsidian is one of them. And Obsidian followed through with a lot of stuff. But now here's the thing. Now here's my thought. Okay, so let's meet in the middle, folks. Let's meet in the middle. Hey, Dad of War, how you doing? That ponies thing won't get annoying? You're fucking right, it'll get annoying.
Ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies.
That's what I do, Dad of War. Ask my wife how annoying I can get. Anyways. Welcome to the chat, by the way. Anyways, what I was saying here is that they released all these games, but this is where the management has to come in. And when management comes... Now, Grounded 1 and 2, fantastic. They did their job, okay? Live service game, a lot of people played it, successful, right? They did it there. But everything else, I think there has to be a point where there needs to be somebody in charge that has to have that... I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. They have to have that vibe of what a good game is. And I don't mean a good game like quality-wise. I'm talking about they have to know what players want. Like, for example, I always harken back to that documentary I watched like 5-6 years ago about God of War. You remember that documentary they released? And Sony Santa Monica went to what's-his-face there, Shuhei Yoshida, and said, hey, we're doing the reboot of God of War, as you know. Here it is. And he sat down and he tried it or whatever, or he watched it. I can't remember what he did. And then he's like, this is shit. Start over. And they were like totally stunned. And they're like, what? And he's like, this is not what people are going to want to play. You guys remember that documentary? It was really good. If you haven't seen it yet, it's called like Making Kratos or some shit like that. I can't remember what it's called. Just type in God of War documentary. It'll show up. I think it's on YouTube now. You can watch it for free. Anyways, the thing is, and it was on the game. It was in the game. Like if you bought the game, I think the documentary came with the game or something like that. Anyways, the point is this, is that somebody somewhere was able to sit back and say, I'm sorry, Corey Barlog. This game is dog shit. Start over. I don't give a shit if you've been working on it for like a year. Start it over. It's not what people want. And Yoshida was 100% raising Kratos. Thank you, Jay Silver. My apologies. Hey, Fun Speculations in the house. Let's go. How you doing, man? Go sub to his channel right away. Immediately. Go to Fun Speculation right away. Go sub to his channel. And then hit the like button for no reason. Even if he's not doing a show right now, find a way to hit the like button. He's a stand-up young man. Love him. And Father Alex is in the house. I can finally press the button. Ladies and gentlemen, the man of the cloth is here. The man who speaks to the Lord himself in person. Father Alex has graced us. Father Alex has finally graced us with his presence. Thank you so much, Father Alex, for being here. So here's the thing. There was somebody in charge to say, listen, man, I mean, I like the idea. I like what's going on here, but this ain't it. Like, I like, this is not fun or whatever. Like they said, they're playing the like, it's not fun. And you know what I hate to say? And I hate to say this because he's actually a really nice guy. Okay, spoke to him a few times. Super nice guy, really connected with the community, all that kind of stuff. But I gotta say, I think, God damn, it's gonna hurt some people. Some people are gonna get mad I say this. Phil Spencer was not that guy. I don't think he was the right guy for quality control. I would imagine probably a lot of people agree with me, to be quite honest. But I don't think he was that guy for the quality control stuff. I don't think he had a solid. Like I remember when he did one of the Xbox showcases, and Randall Thor and him were talking after the show. I think Phil got a hold of Rand and asked him, and he says, "Hey, did you like the show? Like it was awesome, right? And this and that." And Rand was like, "That show was not good." It was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago when they had a shitty showcase. You guys remember that? And I was in the Dominican Republic when that went down, and I was like watching it in the hotel room, and I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" And I just like. I threw the tablet on the thing, and I went back out to the pool bar and got drunk. I was like, this was fucking awful. And Rand told it to Phil's face. And he's like, no, this sucked. He's like, this showcase was garbage. I can't remember what year it was. And I think that Phil was not that guy. And the problem is the games that you're seeing now, it ain't Asha.
Asha Sama wins. Fatality.
It's not Asha. She's not here for that. She's not going to pick up a controller and say, "Oh, this is I like this." Or that's not going to be her thing. She's the dollar and cents woman, okay? She's going to be the one making heads roll and doing all this other stuff. Satya Nadella, forget about him. He doesn't give a fuck about it. All he cares about is he's no longer subsidizing. He just wants his money.
Satya Nadella.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Nick Hulk, you're right. Nick Hulk, you're absolutely right. He was too nice. And, actually, you know what? My name is IGN. You said the same thing. Phil was just too nice, yes. And that was the problem. You didn't have a Yoshida in there that says, no, man, this God of War is shit. Start it over. And then what did they do? They started it over. Yoshida was on their back, checking them out all the time, making sure that it was the way he wanted to see it. And guess what? Won Game of the Year, became in the pantheon of one of the best games of the generation, blah, 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 blah. And all that kind of shit, right? And won all these awards and blah, 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 10 out of 10s and all that shit, right? You need that person at Xbox. And Phil was not that guy, unfortunately. The damn soundboard, I know. Jardell Davis in the house. How you doing, man? Yes, Phil had good intentions, but he just didn't have. I think he was just missing that one connection of what the gamers wanted. So, if you've got the shell of, let's say Outer Worlds 2, okay, you're making Outer Worlds 2. All right, Outer Worlds 1, guys, it didn't do great, but good enough to warrant a sequel. So, let's really improve on the second one. I'm going to bring up another example. Uncharted 1 was not a great game. Blasphemy, I know. By the way, the remake's coming out next year. You heard it here. I'm sure you maybe heard it from someone else, but the Uncharted remake is coming out next year, third quarter. Anyways. After Venom. But the thing is, Uncharted 1 wasn't a great game. It was like an okay clone of Tomb Raider, right? Which was a superior series at the time. However, what did Naughty Dog do with the second one? It starts off with him dangling out of a train on the edge of a cliff, and it was one of the most breathtaking, incredible openings to a game I've ever played. And the rest of the game was flawless. Uncharted 2 was an absolute unmitigated masterpiece. They built on it. So they looked at the first one, they got the complaints, they figured it out, but they had somebody in charge. Whether it was Neil, I don't even think, well, Neil Druckmann wasn't in charge at that time, but I'm sure he was working there. Getting people's coffees and stuff, but who knows? Anyways, the point is that at some point, somebody had to say, listen, man, we got to build on it and make it better. So when you got Outer Worlds 1 from Obsidian, somebody in charge above them, out of their 14 layers of management, somebody should have gone in there and said, listen, guys, you had a good foundation. We need to build on that foundation and make this thing 1,000 times better. Let's all sit down and check this out. How can we make this more exciting for people? How can we make it more enticing? How can we make this even better? Whatever, right? Look at what Ninja Theory was doing. Ninja Theory did their first game, the second game, which was a very cerebral experience. It was supposed to be whatever. The second one was boring as shit. I loved the first one. I did not like the second one at all. I thought it was way too slow, way too convoluted in the story. The combat was awful, whatever. But the thing is, what did they do? So this you know what? We made Heavenly Sword back in the day for the PS3. Let's make a Senua version of Heavenly Sword or whatever. Build on that. And when I saw that trailer in Los Angeles, sitting with Lord Sovereign right there, Just him and I just hanging out. What ended up happening? I sat there and I leaned over to Lord Saw from Iron Lords. Go check out the Iron Lords, by the way. Even though they never invite me on their show, ever. Yeah! You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Because Sundays, I'm busy anyway. I got too much stuff going on Sundays. But anyways, all joking aside, I leaned over to Saw and I go, that was fucking awesome. I I leaned right into his ear. I'm like, that was fucking awesome. And it was awesome, right? So we're watching this thing and I'm like, there you go. There you go. You're building on something and making it more exciting. And when a lot of people ask me what the highlight of the Xbox showcase was, besides Gears of War, because that was a whole separate thing, I got to tell you, the highlight for the Xbox showcase for me was Senua. Because I was like, I'm all about it. And a couple of the people from the team were there, and I talked to them, and I'm like, so I said, so what brought this on? Like, what brought this whole change in in terms of gameplay and all that stuff? And they're like, well, we listened to the community, and we kind of got a vibe of what people wanted, and this and that. Ding, 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 right? So like these games that people weren't playing, Avowed, Outer Worlds 2, whatever, right? They needed to listen to that. You know, that's the way I see it. Indiana Jones, another one. Like, I mean, first-person games. I like first-person games. I played I played Dying Light in these open-world, in first-person views. I have no problem with that. I played Avatar in first-person view until they did the third-person one. But the thing is, if God willing, they actually got a sequel out there. Listen to the community. I might be, I may be in the minority here, but I'm like, listen, man. Listen to your audience. Make an Indiana Jones third person. Doesn't have to be an Uncharted clone, but make it a third person action adventure game that you could see Indiana Jones running around doing his shit. I know you could do it when he was on zip lines or climbing a ladder, but you know what I'm talking about. Make an exciting Indiana Jones adventure in third person action adventure game, and people would go crazy for it. I'm telling you right now, when the music kicks in, he's doing this and he's firing guns out the back of a Jeep and this and that, dragging behind a thing. People go nuts. I'm telling you. The problem is the boat at Xbox was running rudderless for years. That was the problem. All in TV, how you doing, man? Jesus Rodriguez, how you doing, my friend? I'm doing well. Hey, Green Pulse. I don't. You know what? I'm not sure about that Green Pulse. We're going to talk about that in a minute. About the whole. He says in the chat here. Says I'm assuming Senua and State of Decay 3 will still be published by Xbox and probably XPA. I'm not sure about that. Because they said they're going to help, but a part of the deal of them walking away is they're going to help them finish the game. But it's not coming out as an Xbox game. But I have some some things I want to talk about in terms of that. But before I do that, before I continue on this conversation, I got to hit up we got some super chats I want to talk about here. We got Deceiver coming in, dropping a two British pounds. That's proper money, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, thank you so much, Deceiver. Appreciate you. And he says, good day, work, Mag. Thanks for making my boring day fun. Hey, that's what I try to do, brother. Thank you so much, Deceiver. Love to always see you here, man. And Seth Monsters comes in and drops another $5 super chat. Let's go, Seth Monsters. Thank you so much, Seth Monsters. The man is incredible. The guy's dropped 2 super chats and a game code tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And he says, for $5 US, he says, if I shake you up like a magic 8-ball, will you tell me what I want to hear? I don't know. Well, it depends on what you want me to say there, Seth Monsters. I don't know. But thank you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate you, my friend. And ladies and gentlemen, Paris is in the house. Oh, sexy Paris is here, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on? What's going on, Paris? I hope you're doing well. I heard you've been touching a lot of grass out there and enjoying life. That's what life is all about, my friend. Yes. Hey, Satius, how you doing, man? You call me a wanker, too, on top of all that? Unbelievable. Anyways, the point... Getting back... Hey, Hero Down Under, how are you, man? The point is, when it came to certain leadership, not all leadership... Andy Ackerman, how you doing, man? Is that a lot of these studios, and listen, you don't have to listen to me. Just look at what just happened. A lot of these studios were running rudderless for years. Xbox division running rudderless for years because there was a disconnect between the employees, the community, as in us as customers, and management. And when Asha talked about 14 layers of management, first of all, I have worked at a multi-billion-dollar corporation for 2 decades. And I can tell you this, even in a multi-billion-dollar corporation I worked in, I have never dealt with up to 14 layers of management. That is the most insane thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Absolutely insane. And I've been saying this for years. I've been saying this whole generation, even during the ABK trials and everything else. What did I say? I said, to me, Microsoft is so big, or they've made themselves so big in terms of the bureaucracy of management, is that at that point what they have done is that the left hand, just like they say in the Bible, folks, the left hand does not know what the right hand is doing. And there is a breakdown in communication, and as a result of that, a lot of decisions not only get chewed up by the bureaucracy, then it gets delayed by bureaucracy, then it takes to make one decision by the time someone gets an answer could be 2 months. Could be a month, could be a week, whatever, right? And you wonder why it takes so long for some of these games to happen, whatever else, right? It's absolutely ludicrous. Now I was in upper management when I was doing a corporate. I did not start there, but I ended up there in upper management. Okay, when I was dealing with people in the upper management position into like what I would consider to be middle management, there was literally 2 layers. So from the top. To me, I wasn't the top. There's always a bigger fish, you know. Qui-Gon Jinn said that in 1999. There was my boss, and then I was the boss, and then I had people who answered to me. There was literally a 3-step management hierarchy, and this was for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Okay, not 14 friggin' layers of management. No wonder nothing got done. It's broken telephone across the. It's literally corporate broken telephone. How could you make good? How could you make quality? Well, not quality. How can you make games that people want when you don't know what's going on? It's too much. So I will say this one thing though. What she said in her gigantic email there with Helen Chang and her. And a couple of the other people, they're going to answer to her directly. And that's what's needed, a direct line of communication, right? A direct line of communication. And that's what's required for proper management. However, it still needs that magic touch. The magic touch, yeah, too many politics. Exactly, Mav. You know what I mean? Too many politics. And the thing is this. They still need that person with the magic touch that has the eye, okay? It has the eye, who has the it factor. The it factor is who's got the eye for, say, that game is hot. That game's going to be hot. Let's focus on this. I like this. People are going to love this. You know what I mean? They need that person. And that may not be an executive. You might need someone. Get me in there. I will know. I'll tell you right away. If I sat down and you gave me a shitty game to play and you gave me a controller and I sat down and I play for 10 minutes, I go, this game is fucking boring. Or this is the mechanics are shit. The character moves like plasticine. It's dumb or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I would tell you right away. I'd be like, nah, this ain't it, man. And then you give me something else that's like, you know, moves well, great movement, great graphics, whatever, or at least has the promise of great graphics because, you know, you're kind of playing like an alpha and this kind, but you're kind of getting the vibe of it. And you're like, this game is thrilling, it's fun, it's exciting, it's enticing, or it's mysterious, or it's scary, or whatever, right? It's bringing out emotions in me, and this and that. I'm like, I'm liking it. It's connecting right here. I'm enjoying this. Then you can tell, say, listen, whatever you're doing here, this is it. This is it. And listen, I don't give a shit what kind of games you like, guys. Okay? Everybody in the chat has different tastes in games. We all know that. But you know when you sit down, you're like, whoa, that game's awesome. Or that game looks awesome or whatever. Or that game is awesome. You're playing it or whatever. Right? You just know. So even if your tastes in games are different, you can still eyeball quality. And that was like I said, the problem was, on top of all that, is that the games were not connecting with the gamers, because gamers weren't playing them even on Game Pass. Like, it's not like you have to pay extra. You're already paying for the Game Pass. It's right there in front of your face, and people still wouldn't play them. So where's the disconnect? Is it the fun factor? Is it what is it? Like, there's something missing, obviously. Look at what's happening now. Now, there's something I want to talk about. I want to dovetail right into this because it's basically all just one big subject, right? I want to talk about this id Software thing. This is a level of insanity that I wasn't expecting. Like, I did not expect this. I am dead. I'll tell you this right now. I am dead set against this. This is. Father Alex says, "Can we take a hydration break?" I know. Well, dude, that's what I do constantly in the show. That's why they usually about the hour and a half mark, I got to piss like a racehorse because I'm pounding water constantly because I'm constantly talking, right? Anyways, this id Software thing is ridiculous. I mean, it's insane. Like, they gutted almost half the damn studio or whatever, like 90 plus people. And here's the crazy part, folks. id Tech is actually some of the most prominent first-person shooting engine technology, period, made by some of the best coders in the industry. A lot of them veterans of the industry, been in it for a long time or whatever else. Part of those layoffs, I don't know if you guys knew this, but part of those layoffs of id Software that was talked about today, they got rid of the majority of their coders, if not all of them. I don't know if they got rid of all of them, but that was something I was hearing. What? What does that even mean? I'm going to read you guys something. I'm not going to put it up on the screen because you're not going to read it. Michael Maynard. He's a principal industry veteran game creator. Okay, put out this today. He says, "Big day today at id Software. We produced arguably the best in the entire industry, first-person action games consistently game after game since 2016. Doom, Doom Eternal, Doom the Dark Ages, and of course now their DLC, the quintessential modern trilogy of first-person action. Google it. Look at the reviews. Best games ever, period." Let's calm down with the best games ever, but like they're pretty. I mean, 2016 Doom is like a flawless game to me. We created arguably the best first-person engine technology in the industry. Absolutely. Arguably the best tech on any system. I agree with that. With literally the best of the best coders in the industry. Also agree with that in terms of first-person shooters action. 3 games, 14 years in a row, without question. Google is your friend. We dominated the first-person industry in many ways. Obviously not better than like Call of Duty or whatever, but I see what he's getting at. Yet today, Microsoft Xbox decided half the team was deemed useless and needed to be let go. Despite all of the amazing work and effort from every designer, programmer, artist, audio specialist, level designer, FX, tech design, and on and on and on. Just let them go. Such a waste for an entire team dedicated to excellence for many years. Agree. Just fire them. Let them go. Yeah. Yes, I was part of the team, roughly 50% of the company that was let go today. I was there for over 20 years, raged through Doom the Dark Ages. Sad, but I've been doing this video games for over 40 years now, so not a huge surprise to me. Just really sad that this is how id Software, the pioneer innovator of first-person action games, is relegated to just another reorganization of assets. 100%. I agree with that 100%. Lunar Blackstar, how you doing? That was a mistake. That was and then the thing is, and then you lay off. This is the thing where it talks about optics. And that's going to be like something that we're going to end the show with, because I'm going to do a video about it tomorrow, because I need to talk about it. But I will talk about it with you guys tonight, and then we'll get into that later. That is disgraceful. Not only is it disgraceful what they did to id Software by letting go half of the studio, then you had the balls, okay, to release the DLC on the day you do it.
Asha Shama wins. Fatality.
You know what I'm saying? That like the optics of it. Now, I know the average gamer won't even know what the hell's going on, but the people tuned into the community, like all of us or whatever, you got to admit that's pretty shitty. You release a DLC today, and then you let go half of the team today, with the majority of them being the coders. However, this is where it gets funny. in one of her statements, Asha Sharma then goes on to say that Doom is going to continue to be a focus for their future, and id Software is going to be... Reports suggest, Mr. Matty Plays also said this too, and Jeff Keighley was talking about it. Reports suggest that Doom and Quake are focuses for Xbox among Bethesda's key franchises. What the So you laid off 50% of the staff, including the majority of the coders, yet Doom and Quake are going to be focuses for Xbox among Bethesda's key franchises. So how we doing that by laying off half of id? These are questions I talked about in my video. Still a lot unanswered for how Xbox plans to manage these series going forward. That's what Mr. Matty Plays said. And he's 100% correct. So you want to focus on the IPs at the expense of the people who actually make the IP. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. To me, what started off as, you know what, this isn't that bad, like when they announced the news and all that kind of stuff, and kind of fell for that a little bit. But I'm starting to see now that there's more to it than that. That this is basically a corporate rating job here. That they're basically going to take those IPs or whatever at the expense of, doesn't matter who made them or not, and at the expense of that, and just continue with the IP. I don't know, man. I think it was a bad move. Yeah, no talent. The answer is simple. AI. Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I don't know about this situation, man. I'm not happy. I'm not happy about it. Paris in the chat saying the senior staff making too much dollars had to go. Well, there's that too. I mean, that happened to me, Paris. That happened to me, Paris. I mean, what ended up happening to me is that they ended up parting ways with me because I was costing too much money. And you know what they did? They replaced me with someone who was getting paid $30,000 less than what I was making. So there you go. I was getting too expensive because I was with the company for 2 decades. Yeah, Cyber Gunter, cold blood, yeah.
Asha Sharma wins. Fatality.
You know what I mean? Anyway, that's the way I see it. I can understand, like, even like from a bureaucratic point of view, like if you got too much management, like for example, the 14 levels of management, I think that that's absolutely insane. Then yes, absolutely thin that out to down to like 2 or well, you can't go less than 2. Yeah, 3 layers of management is fine because there are different departments, right? That makes sense. I get all that. But the coders who are the ones who actually make the games, and you want to focus on the games, I would imagine at this point, I have a theory, folks, and I want to know. I don't know what you guys think about it. But before I do that, I'm going to get these super chats. I'm going to go grab a drink real quick, and I'll be right back. And I'm going to tell you my theory as to what I'm thinking is going on with the business moving forward. But before I get to all that, let's get to Italia Gangster comes in. Italia Gangster comes in and drops a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Italia Gangster. That is 4 donations that man has done tonight. And he says, Forza 6 Friday, one last adventure before Halo. We will not do it Friday. We are going to be, Italia Gangster, we are going to be doing Assassin's Creed Black Flag on Friday. But I will absolutely be doing one more Forza Horizon 6 community night with everybody before we move on to Halo. So thank you, Italian Gangster. Appreciate that. And we got Chris R55 coming in, dropping a $5 super chat. Let's go. Thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate it, my friend. And he says, for 5 United States dollars. He says, my theory is it will be a one Bethesda approach. Yep, agreed. Parts of each studio will collaborate on whatever franchise, Quake, Doom, Wolfenstein, etc. 100% Chris. And when I get back from grabbing my drink, we're going to talk about exactly that because that's something, I have a theory as to where things are going to go. Well, however, thank you very much, Chris, and I will get back to that when I get back. And we got Andy Ackerman coming and dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Andy Ackerman. And Andy Ackerman says, Mag was overworked and underpaid. By the end of it, I was actually getting paid quite well. But generally speaking, yes. The majority of the time, I would think that most people are overworked. Or underworked and overpaid. Oh, ha, ha, fucking ha. Ladies and gentlemen.
Stupid fucking game.
Idiot! Oh, what a loser!
I read the super chat wrong. Andy Ackerman was taking a shot at me, so I'm going to have to read it again. I'm an idiot. And he says Mag was underworked and overpaid. There it is. Sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to screw up your joke. Yes, 100%. No, I was definitely overworked and underpaid for the majority of the time. And then at one point, I actually was getting paid appropriately for the job I was doing. And then as soon as that happened, then they're like, oh, shit, this guy's costing us too much. And so they found ways to make me part from the corporation, and they hired somebody for $30,000 less. So that's the way of the world. The world sucks, and that's why I'm telling you right now, guys, when it comes to work, this may sound like bad advice, but it's not bad advice. Never give your all. And I don't mean give your all with your job or whatever else. Do your job and do it incredibly well. Do all of that. But I'm saying when it comes to loyalty, be loyal to yourself because they have no loyalty to you. Remember that. So don't be loyal to them. Fuck them. You're doing them a favor by working for them and doing whatever. But remember that. Your loyalty is with yourself and with your family. That's it. Not your company, not your corporation, not your nothing. Because in the end, they are not loyal to you. Look what just fucking happened yesterday. And on that note, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Everybody keep your pants on. All right, anyways, I want to talk about my theory, okay? Now, I think that this is the business plan moving forward. So as they're making these studios small or whatever else, I don't think that these studios are actually going to be as, like, for example, Obsidian and id Software. I think that what's going to happen, folks, is this. What's up, Itchy? How you doing, man? Beast mode? I don't even know if I said hi to you. And I have a wonderful evening, by the way. Thank you for stopping by. Here's the thing. I think that they're not going to work on single games by themselves. I think that what's going to happen is it's going to be basically become like ABK and Bethesda. Does that make sense? I don't know. You guys tell me in the chat if you think that makes sense. I think it's basically going to be two big groups, ABK and Bethesda, and everything else will be sort of like in support of those big studios, and they're going to work on those big flagship titles out of those two big conglomerates that are within Xbox. That's my guess. I may be 100% wrong. I may be 100% wrong, but that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So, for example, if they're going to talk about Doom and Quake or whatever, id Software is going to be there doing it, but I have a feeling it's going to be done through... What's up, Stick Flare? How you doing? Through Bethesda. Right? The larger group of people will be pumping out these games. Your Doom, Quake, Elder Scrolls, Fallout. And then you've got, of course, on the other side of the fence where you've got, Coalition. Where do they fit in all this? We haven't even heard anything about what's going on over there. Playground Games. We haven't heard anything about what's going on there. right? Don't forget another 1,600 layoffs are coming up between now and next year, right? There's 1,600 happen now, another 1,600 happen later. That was by design to make it seem like it wasn't so bad. That was the whole idea, and they didn't want to make it so catastrophic, I think, at the beginning to basically avoid bad news. And people, you know how people are. If they eat digestible-sized bites of food, they don't go, oh, man, that burger was way too big. But if you're giving people little chunks of burger, they don't realize how much they're actually eating. So, like, there's a little bit of that. Now, the thing is, what I'm thinking is this. They have all these teams basically are all going to be working together on these big titles. So now, are you going to be getting, games like Keeper? No. Are you going to get South of Midnight ever again? No. Not a chance in hell. If you're going to get anything smaller or interesting, I highly doubt it. If anything that's going to happen, I think it's going to be happening through ID at Xbox. You know, the independent thing, whatever. I think you'll get it through there. But I don't think you're going to be getting it from first-party studios. I think it's going to be coming out... my guess, and this is a guess, but I think it's a pretty solid guess. You guys let me know in the chat, you think I'm full of shit or if you think I'm right. Let me know. I think she's going to design Xbox Game Studios like ABK. And what I mean by that, I mean Call of Duty specifically. I think that what's going to happen is you're going to have all these multiple teams working on just these big titles, these big flagship titles, and then what's going to happen is you're going to get them every 3 to 4 years. Instead of 5 to 7 years having a single team working on whatever, Gears or this or that or Doom or Quake or Call of Duty. And they're just going to be churning this shit out like a sausage factory. And it's going to be coming out every 3-4 years. And it's going to be, like I said, risk-averse titles, Fallouts, Elder Scrolls. We'll see how Fable does. And that's the other thing. We're going to talk about that in a minute, too, about how these things perform. I think that's going to happen. Your Call of Duties crank out every year, but it's 3 studios working on it, right? So it takes, a 3-year cycle on all the Call of Duty games because you got all these multiple studios working on it. That's 100% what she's doing. I'm telling you right now, she's going to design the entire Xbox division is going to run like Call of Duty.
Asha Sama wins. Fatality.
That's what I'm thinking. Cyber Gunter, you're the best. Cyber Gunter says, Meg, I think you're full of 14 layers of shit. Let's go. Oh, that's great. I don't think we're going to be waiting 5 years plus, Me Puppet. I don't think she has the patience for it. And I don't think Satya has the patience for it.
Satya Nadella.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think they're going to have the patience for it anymore. And he already said it in his interview. He's like, I'm not subsidizing anymore. It's done. So I think they're going to start cranking these games out every 3 to 4 years. That's what I'm thinking. Now, the average gamer won't really give a shit. I don't think anybody really give a shit. I think everybody else will just kind of do their thing, and that's all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. So I think you're going to get a Fallout every 3 years, maybe even smaller experience. I don't know what the hell they're going to do, but I'm just saying. I know it sounds crazy, but she said it with her own mouth. She said, we need to get these games out faster, right? She did say that. And how else do you do that? She's probably looking at the Call of Duty factory and going, I want everything like that. And I'm telling you, that is what's going to happen. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat if you think that that's what's going to happen. But that's what I see happening. I'm telling you right now. That's what I see happening. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Hey, what's up, Raven Gaming? How you doing, man? Should you switch to PC? I don't know. You can do whatever you like. Fuck, G Silver, cut that shit out. Disgusting. I'm not even going to read what he said, okay? Oh, she doesn't even... Exactly, my name is IGN. She goes, Asha doesn't even have 5 years. No, she doesn't. And that's why I'm telling you right now, she's like, I'm shaving down this. They got rid of what they got rid of. And like, we're shaving this down, shaving this down. Guess what? You're all part of Bethesda now. You're all working on these 4 titles. You got 3 years to do it. 2030, I want all these games out. I mean, on top of the games that are basically coming out in the next year or two. I'm telling you that's what she's going to do. And it's going to be cranking out these games. You're going to get a Fallout 5, Fallout 6, Fallout 7, Fallout 8. She's going to design, her business design is going to be exactly like Activision. That's what I'm thinking, man. That's what I'm thinking. Now, will the regular gamer give a shit? No. The audience is, as they said in Gladiator, the audience is fickle, brother. They don't give a shit about people's jobs. They don't give a shit about what's going on in the industry. They just want the games cranking out. And that's what I was talking about with AI. I'm like, when AI starts helping these games come out even faster, right? And I'm not talking about the AI of like Will Smith eating spaghetti or like, a guy in his car making bad jokes and his fake hyena next to him laughing on Instagram. That's not the AI I'm talking about. I'm talking about the AI that's going to be doing the heavy tech lifting for these companies. That's what I'm talking about. Eli the Prophet. That's okay. Eli the Prophet in the chat, he says, but do you think it could be done with the amount of people they have altogether? That's why they're amalgamating these people together. So id Software is going to get folded in. It'll still be called id Software, but it's going to get folded in with Bethesda, and they're all going to be working together like one big happy stupid family. I'm telling you, that's how it's going down. Magnum, how you doing, man? So when I was saying that whole AI thing, when people get pissed off at AI and AI is causing all these problems all over the world with RAM shortages and and everything else and component part shortages and all that shit, right? And which is true. But you know what the thing is? And I'm like, yeah, but when you get a Call It or whatever, when you get an Uncharted every 2 years instead of every 5, or you get a Last of Us 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, in the same time that it took between 1 and 2 and whatever, the gamers won't give a shit because they're going to be sitting there just like they do with Netflix and Amazon Prime and all the other shit that's going on, Disney Plus and all the shitty shows on there, and people just consume and consume and consume and consume. Do you guys ever play the game Little Nightmares? You ever play the game Little Nightmares? If you don't know about that game, it was a social commentary on how disgusting our society has become, is that we don't care about quality, we care about consummation. Just consume. And when you're playing the game and you see all these little guys doing their thing, like your little characters running around, and you see these big fat blobs and they're just shoveling shit in their face like every scene you go to, that was a social commentary. If you talk to the actual makers of the game, it was a social commentary about how our society is all about, particularly Western society, is all about mass consumption. So at the end of the day, what's going to happen, folks? When all these games start cranking out, nobody's going to care. They're just going to consume and consume and consume at the expense of whatever, people's jobs, integrity, management, livelihoods, families. They don't give a fuck because it's not affecting them directly. And that's how it works. That's how society works. I mean, when you watch the news and you see some guy getting, hit by a dump truck or something or whatever, right? And then you're like, oh, fuck, that sucks. And then what do? You go right back to what you were doing before because it didn't happen to you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing here. So when you see like Microsoft hit them with a dump truck, you go, oh shit. But then all of a sudden they're like, by the way, here's Fallout 5. In 3 years, Fallout 6. And everybody's like, oh shit, all right. And they're just playing. They don't care. Right? And that's what they're banking on. Sony, same shit. You think Sony cares? Like when Sony does the thing, like now I'm doing a whataboutism, okay? You want one, you got one now. When Sony did the all digital thing and whatever else, and they didn't respond to it because they know that as soon as they start cranking out Wolverine, Phantom Blade, Call of Duty, which by the way, it's not theirs. I understand that's Microsoft or Xbox's. But the thing is, the majority of people, 84% and above, buy Call of Duty on PlayStation. They won't give a shit. They're just going to play Call of Duty. They don't give a fuck. And then they're like, I canceled my PS Plus. Yeah, well, they're going to re-up as soon as Call of Duty comes out. When GTA Online GTA drops, all digital, by the way, no outrage. 50 million pre-orders. People don't give a shit. They're just going to consume and consume and consume and consume, and they don't care. So therefore, walking back on principles, these corporations damn well know that you're going to walk back on principles. Not you guys. I'm talking about to the general audience out there in the world. They're going to walk back on those principles. So that's why I said early in the show that a lot of that stuff is performative bullshit. Because it is performative bullshit. People are looking for attention. They're angry for a minute. And then as soon as it comes down to it, those corporations damn well know, they're like, well, you're not going to play Call of Duty this year? They know. It's like a drug dealer. A drug dealer knows you're coming back. I ain't never coming back. Scratching their face. And, y'all got some more of them games? The scratching themselves like Dave Chappelle when he used to have like when he was the crackhead with the white lips. Y'all got some more of them games? They know you're coming back. So they're like, okay, you guys can do your polls on Twitter and you could do your, you could do your petitions and all that stuff. Sony will sit back and go, that's fine. You guys have the summer. You guys can bitch for the rest of the summer, but come September, you'll all be back. And they know. And they're like, you'll be back. And they're right. And Microsoft, same thing. they know that the general public is fickle. They don't really care if it doesn't affect them personally. That's human nature, unfortunately, for a lot of people. I mean, it's not with me. When I see something horrible, I'm like, oh my God. Because I think about it because I know what those people go through. I've been through that. So, I mean, as a person who has somewhat of a soul in me, you know what I'm saying? Is that I look at these situations, I go, man, that could have been me. Right? That could have been me. So I feel for this. And I don't like seeing it. But, I mean, there are business realities too. But anyways. My guess, like I said, to wrap up that whole thing, before I get to the super chats here, my whole thing is that I'm thinking she's going to design all of the Xbox banner is going to be run exactly like Activision. And you're going to have all these teams put together and saying, y'all are working on this and y'all are working on this. No one's doing side projects. No one's doing independent games. No one's working on anything solo because we don't have time for that. Y'all are working on this shit together. And that's what's going to happen. And then they're going to start cranking out the risk-averse, big titles, the big tentpole titles over and over and over and over. That's exactly what's going to happen. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because she's looking at everything and seeing the only model that seems to be working for them is Activision. Unfortunately. I know a lot of people don't like Call of Duty. They're like, Call of Duty's just a, it's become a sausage factory every year, just cranking out a new one at lessening quality, by the way. But this year is going to be different. I'm telling you that right now. This year's going to be different. They've really been, I know the developers have been working really hard on this one. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying that. I'm being dead serious. And I've been talking about this since January, guys. Remember when I was talking about it here and I was talking about it next NC? I'm like, guys, I've been talking to a lot of people over there at ABK, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of them are super excited for Call of Duty. That was back in January. It is now July. I am still talking about how excited they are about this game because they said this game is going to be hot. But anyways, let's get to the super chats. We got Andy Ackerman coming in, dropping a $5 super chat. Let's go, Andy Ackerman. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you, my friend. And he says, for $5 US, he says, my guess is Mag's execs talk about how all they got was something small and interesting. Oh, he's coming back with another shot. Ladies and gentlemen, Andy Ackerman has dropped 2 super chats tonight, and both of them taking a direct shot at Mag. You know how it goes. There you go. Thank you so much, Andy Ackerman. Appreciate it, my friend. And we got the man himself. The man, by the way, who bought Grand Theft Auto 6 Ultimate Edition for the channel. Grumpy Old Fart is here. You're the best around, Grumpy Old Fart. And he drops a $10 super chat. I hope you're doing well, my friend. And he says, somebody said Dumbledore?
Control your emotions. Discipline your mind.
Thank you, Professor Snape. I only have Snape here today. Dumbledore is, he's actually off on a mission right now finding Horcruxes with Harry Potter. So all I got is Snape. Snape, what did you got to say?
Control your emotions.
Exactly.
Discipline your mind.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much, professors. And he says, Grumpy Old Fart says for 10 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, my brother. And he says, somebody said Dumbledore? Who dares waking me up from my slumber? Hello, working, can't talk, gotta go. Love you all. Bye-bye. Can you talk more about Uncharted Remake, Mag, please? Absolutely. Grumpy Old Fart, if you're working and you can't talk, the last I heard from them is that the Uncharted remake of the original will be coming out Q3 2027 after or somewhere in the midst of the possibility of Venom coming out next year. They're tossing around the 2 games right now. There's Venom and Uncharted, and they're looking for homes, and I don't mean homes as in like studios. They're looking for homes in terms of release dates and where they want to plant them. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But as it stands right now, it'll be about a year and a half. You'll see Uncharted remake coming out about third quarter or maybe fourth quarter. But like I said, they haven't landed a home yet on. They haven't nailed down release times. And then of course in the mix of that is Venom. They're looking somewhere between Q3 and Q4 as well. So we'll have to wait for more on that later on this year or maybe next year when they release a trailer. But I doubt you'll see anything this year. Next year for sure. So it'll be pretty exciting. So yes, Grumpy Old Fart, I hope that helped. But I'm really looking forward to an Uncharted 1 remake. I love that series to death, man. Absolutely love it. And Itchy comes in dropping a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Itchy. And Itchy says, PS6 cutting Blu-ray, Sony switching to cartridges. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, no more physical discs. They lied to you. Sony is actually releasing cartridges. That's what's going on. That's what's happening. We're going back to 8-tracks as well, folks. They're going to be built in all the new cars. My new Tesla is going to come with an 8-track player, and I already have an 8-track for it. It is my soundtrack to Saturday Night Fever. Yes, I own the 8-track for that. Yes. Thank you so much, Itchy. I appreciate you. And Danny Passion, my old friend. How you doing, my friend? Danny Passion comes in and drops a $2 super chat. He says, the mag will now report directly to me, Asha.
Asha Sharma wins. Fatality.
That's it. Fatality. Yes, thank you, Danny Passion. Appreciate you. And we got Lotus Esprit coming in, gifting a gifted member. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate that, Lotus Esprit. Nice to see you, man. Yes, thank you so much. And for the new person who actually just received. And it was Magnum who actually received it. Unbelievable. The most undeserving scumbag in the chat, Magnum, actually got the gifted member from Lotus Esprit. Make sure you thank him. And, of course, Magnum, as you already well know.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Yes! DJ Marshman, how you doing, man? Lotus Esprit, appreciate you very much. Thank you guys all for the support, man. I can't do this without you, man. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. Okay, so now I told you guys what I think is going to be the business plan, is that they're going to model everything moving forward as Activision does. Every 3 to 4 years, you're going to have all these teams working together to crank out those big titles, and that's all there is to it. I think that that's what you're going to get moving forward, and that's all that's what you're going to get. I don't think you're going to get any more South of Midnights or anything like that. Hey, Muhammad, how you doing? You're going to be getting Activision style business moving forward because it makes money. That's what it is. And regardless of the fact that people don't like Call of Duty and whatever, Call of Duty is just the same old shit every year, this and that. Yeah, but it makes them a lot of money. And at the end of the day, they don't care.
Asha Sharma
You know what I mean?
wins. Fatality.
And then the big guy really doesn't care about how people feel about it. They just want their money. And like I said, when Satya talked about
Satya Nadella.
You know what I mean? Did he give a shit? He doesn't care about how you feel. None of them do. No corporation cares how you feel. All they care about is the billions of dollars. And when he said, and this is, guys, the most eye-opening thing ever, when he said in that interview just about, what was it, like 2 weeks ago? And he's like, yeah, we're not subsidizing Xbox anymore. We're losing 64 cents on the dollar on every fucking dollar that they invest in Xbox. They lose 64 cents. Do you think that that's going to continue? Do you think that that's going to continue? Now, the next question I was going to ask, do you think that Game Pass is going to stay the way it is?
You're fired!
Not a chance. I don't know what they're going to do. Okay? Hand to God, I have no idea what they're going to do. But I'm telling you, it ain't going to be what they've been doing before. Because the thing is, they've been doing it since 2017, right? And it's now 2026, so 9 years. And it's gone nowhere in years. It's been stagnant for years. In fact, it went up a little bit to like 34 million. Then it went down to like 20-something million. I heard that it was even as bad as 24 million when they raised it to $30 a month. And then now, as whoever the hell it was, Financial Post or one of them, or I can't remember who the hell said it, someone said it's now back up to about 30 million because they gained a bunch of people. I know Matthew Ball talked about that, saying that they got millions of people back in when they lowered the price. However, at the cost of Call of Duty, which we knew was going to happen. They can't have Call of Duty in there. So the thing is, when you think about that, right? Now it's about 30 million. It's been stagnant for years. So it went up, it went down, and now it's back exactly where it was before. Do you think, honestly, and I'm not being an asshole or anything like that. I'm literally just asking, do you guys actually think that it's going to stay the same? Not a chance in hell. There's no chance in hell it's going to stay the same, because if they worked it for 9 years and have been losing money every single year for 9 years, 64 cents on the dollar. This is not me. This is them. They're saying it with their own lips. Okay? Asha, with her own lips. With her own lips. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're saying it, not me. Don't take shots at me. Like I said, I'll do the Neo shit. Look. I'll just dodge those bullets. I go, shoot about her, man. I'm not the fucking one who's saying it. You think it's going to stay the same? What else did she say? She says, we can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. How could people sit back and actually say, no, they're not changing anything? Are you fucking blind? She's telling you right to your face. We can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And then on top of that says we're losing 64 cents on the dollar. It's insanity to think that. Hey, Rambo, how you doing, man? Rambo, losing 64 cents on every dollar invested in Xbox. She said it in her email. Right? She said it in her email. Of course they're losing money there. You know what I mean? I know, DJ Marshman, exactly. He goes, on every dollar, what kind of business? That's why Satya says we're done subsidizing, because they were subsidizing. What's up, J-Dog? How you doing, man? So, anyways. Oh, actually, you know what? Because we have the biggest pony in the chat here, ladies and gentlemen. Muhammad is here. I got to give him a song.
Ponies and ponies.
There you go, Muhammad. The biggest pony in the chat. You get it.
And ponies and ponies and ponies and ponies.
There you go, Muhammad. Just for you, buddy. G-Mania comes in, drops in a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, G-Mania. Appreciate you, my friend. There you go. Unlock the rare achievement. G-Mania says, for $5 Canadian dollars, thank you so much. And he says, Mag, do you know why mouse PI for hire for Xbox is hard to find in North America? Everyone has the Switch and PS5 listed. That's strange. I didn't know anything about that. No, I have no idea, G-Mania, but I'll tell you this. I mean, I bought it for the PS5 because I game share with my wife, and she loved the game. She finished it. She rolled credits on it, loved it. My kids rolled credits on it. They bought it as well. Well, they bought it. Let's get real. I bought it. And they game shared it as well. But I didn't buy it on Xbox. Deceiver. I'm not reading that out loud because I have talked to the woman, okay? I'm not going to say anything nasty. Hey, Fuzzy Tomato. How you doing, man? Who are you arguing with? Fuzzy Tomato, here's the thing. I talk to myself all the time, okay? So when my wife is so used to it now, she just, like, lets it go. I'll be in the bathroom talking to myself while I'm brushing my teeth. It's actually quite insane. Oh, QMax. Oh, thank you, QMax. There we go, G-Mania. We're getting some clarification here on your super chat. QMax in the chat says, he's talking about the physical copies, I think, Meg. They just came out. Oh, okay. I understand. No, I heard nothing about it, man. I heard nothing about it because, like I said, I bought it digital. I don't buy physical anymore. So I knew nothing about it. But I will check it out, man. I will look into that. I'll see what the situation is. I mean, if you want me to get conspiratorial for just a second, I could say maybe they didn't produce as many, like, physical copies on Xbox because they saw the digital sales and they saw maybe the majority of them were on Switch and PlayStation. And they're like, okay, well, 65% bought them on PlayStation, 30% bought them on Switch, and 5% bought on Xbox. They're like, why the fuck are we going to make a physical copy for them? They're not buying it. I'm just saying that could be a thing. And that has happened before, and that's the only reason why I'm saying it. I'm not saying it to be an asshole. I'm just saying it because that has happened several times before. So when people are sitting there going, well, why didn't they give, why didn't they do part 2 on Xbox or whatever? They didn't release it on Xbox and this and that. I'm like, because they see the numbers. And they see that they have the smallest percentage. So for a lot of them, optimizing for another console is not worth it for them financially in the end. They'll be like, I'll just release it on PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo. It's like Xbox is not worth it. And that has happened. And I'm not trying to be, ridiculous or not trying to be console-worry. I'm being serious. That has happened several times. Especially with the Asian, like with a lot of the Asian devs, they do that. They look at it and they're like, our game's not going to sell over there. So they don't even bother bringing it over there. So maybe that might be a thing. Or I might be completely off base. Who the hell knows? In the end of the day, folks, at the end of the day, we just have to wait and see and get official word. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when we're doing a talk show like this, I mean, we speculate. That's what we do, right? So, oh, J-Dog. I'm so happy for you, my friend. Oh, J-Dog in the chat says, he goes, I just started Resident Evil Village for the first time. Hello to Lady Dimitrescu. Oh, yeah. That's my girl. She can suck my blood anytime. Whoa! Yeah! Oh, man, I would definitely be her slave. Oh, my God, I would love it. Lady Dimitrescu, if she walked in the room like, 9 feet tall and she ducked in the room and looked all threatening, I would literally just throw all my clothes off and be like, take me. Take me, woman. I don't care what you do. Just take me. I'm all yours. Step on me with your high heels. I don't know. Whatever it is. Whatever it is you do. Anyways. We're not going to get into my fantasies about Lady Dimitrescu, okay? Because, god damn. So hot. Mike, the TV23. You had a super chat? Where the hell is it? Maybe it was when I went to go get a glass of water. Oh, there it is. I just saw it. Sorry, my bad. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to have to give him some extra praise for this one. Mike, the TV23, comes in, drops a $2 super chat. Let's go. Oh, Mike, the 23, thank you so much for reminding me, my friend. I did not see that. I did not see that. Thank you so much. Mike, the TV23, says for $2. He says, Meg, please do an episode with Colin Moriarty. You all have bullseye analysis. Well, thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sorry I missed that chat, brother. Sorry I missed that chat. Yeah, sometimes they sneak past me. You know how it is. Hey, what's up, Jay Slayer? How you doing, man? The Bug Girls are better? Yeah, they're pretty hot. But, I mean, Lady Dimitrescu, I mean, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Anyways, there's one thing I want to talk about, guys, to sort of tail off the, the end of the show, the latter half of the show. Sorry, Mike, I did not see that. You got people fighting in the chat. Hey, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. Especially when Muhammad shows up. Muhammad always starts shit every time he comes here. Anyways, you guys can disagree and argue in the chat all you want, but be nice, all right? Make sure you don't get personal. Don't get all silly and stuff. Don't make names, don't call each other names and stuff. But if you're arguing about stuff, it's totally cool. You know how we roll here, man. You're allowed to do that. And we're allowed to disagree with each other. And you can call me an asshole, too. I mean, I don't care. You'd be like, Mag, you're totally wrong. You're an asshole. You're a fraud. I'd be like, all right, that's fine. Anyways, just keep an eye on it. Keep it cool, guys. Keep it cool, all right? I want everybody to stay here. I don't want anybody to get, timed out or nothing like that. I don't want to see that. Anyways, the one thing I want to talk about to end the show is the video I'm going to work on tomorrow, but I thought I would talk about it with you guys. Hey, Daniel McCarthy, how you doing, man? And the thing is this, and I think it's something that I think people are starting to see what's going on. And Borbs, what's up, man? I've never seen you in the chat before. Welcome. Welcome to hell.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
I mean, you may have been here before, but I've never actually seen anything. He says, let's be honest, Phil hung around way too long and just threw money at the problem. Asha was hired to fix Xbox. Yeah, well, yeah. And we talked about that earlier in the show, actually, Borbs. About an hour and a half ago, we talked about that. But either way, here's the situation. Is something I want to talk about, and I don't want to talk about it, but I mean, I got to talk about it because, I mean, if we're going to talk about stuff, we're going to be authentic. And as I said before, this channel is based off of a saying, okay? And the saying is authenticity is the currency of the future. Well, then we're going to continue to do that, whether we like to hear it or not. What's up, Jay Allen? How you doing, man? Asha's a lot nicer to look at, too. Oh, Asha, yeah. She is cute, man. I mean, I gotta say that. I mean, I met her in person. She's a tiny little thing. She's like half a foot shorter than me. And just a tiny little thing. Like, I shook her hand. I was like, oh my God, she's so tiny. But anyways, I want to talk about the image. And this is something that I think is going to be a bit of an issue. What do I mean by image? I mean, if you've now made these moves, okay? I'm trying to get my thoughts together here, folks, before I say anything. You've made these moves now, right? So you've done what you did. Not happy about it. No one should be. There's something else I wanted to actually point out here. This is from an actual developer that got laid off, but pointed out something pretty interesting. I want you guys to think about this, and I want to talk about this. This is what's going on here. He says, for my friends and followers who don't work in the game development, celebrating and worshiping that the layoffs yesterday were necessary for change and a move in the right direction. Then he puts this. January 23, 10,000 people, 343, Bethesda Game Studios Coalition, laid off. January 24, 1,900 people, Xbox, Activision Blizzard, Blizzard Entertainment, ZeniMax Media, laid off. May 24, studio closures, approximately 260 people to 350 employees affected, no official number. Alpha Dog Games, Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, Roundhouse Studios merged into ZeniMax Online Studios. September 24, 650 people, Microsoft Gaming, Activision Blizzard, Xbox, laid off. July 25, 9,000 people. I don't think it was 9,000 people. Maybe this guy's exaggerating. I'm just reading it, okay? So don't freak the fuck out on me. I'm just reading what he's saying. But it's the point that I'm getting at. The Initiative closed. Halo Studios, Turn 10 Studios, Rare, ZeniMax Online, Undead Labs, Compulsion, Raven Software, Blizzard Entertainment, Activision Teams laid off. July 26th, 3,200 people. Well, over the year, but yes. Xbox people total, 1,600 effective immediately, 1,600 phased. Bethesda, id Software, ZeniMax Online, Obsidian, Activision, Compulsion Games, Double Fine Productions, Ninja Theory, Undead Labs, laid off or sold. And then he ends it with this. I sure hope this is a very poignant thing. I sure hope the 6th round of layoffs is worth our pain and your pleasure. After all, things are going to be different this time round, right? Yikes. Yeah! You know what I'm saying? Let me read that again. What? He wasn't Magnum goes, this guy sounds like a pony. No, it was on Twitter today. He was actually one of the devs that was laid off. He says, I sure hope, he was from id Software. He says, I sure hope the 6th round of layoffs is worth our pain and your pleasure. After all, things are going to be different this time around, right? You know, when you phrase it that way, whether you agree with it or not, when you phrase it that way and you point it out, I think his 9,000 people number was wrong. But I think that was grossly inaccurate. But I'm not really sure. But the point is, it's not about the number. It's about what he said. What's up here? How you doing, man? And when you read that and you're going, holy shit, that guy kind of has a point. You know what I mean? But you know, a lot of those were during the other management. So let's see how this management handles now that they've done this. Let's see how they can handle it from there. But if I don't know, man. I mean, like when you read that, it really makes you pause for a second. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Beer Baron, how you doing, man? When you read that, it makes you pause even for just a second. Just to say there and go, you know, that's a bit of a thing. So, I don't know. It's just something to think about. Like I said, you don't have to take it at face value. And you don't even have to agree with it. You could say, oh, he's full of shit or whatever. But he's not full of shit about what happened. Everything he said there happened. Now, the only difference is 5 out of those 6 was under a different management. Now we have one happening with this management. So, let's see what they can do with this. But the point is, which gets into my last point of the evening, is this. It's the image now. Yes, Magnum, you're right. I agree with that. Hey, Wolfman, what's going on? Is that my son, the Wolfman? I think it is. Ladies and gentlemen, my son is in the chat. My son is in the chat. Be nice to Wolfman, all right? He's in the chat. So the thing is this. It doesn't matter anymore about what they do, what they say, who they lay off, who they sell, who they fire, who they hire. The thing is, there's an image, and this is. I'll tell you. Listen, I'll give you guys a sneak peek. Okay, the title of my video tomorrow is this, and some people are gonna like it, some people are gonna hate it. And that's fine. I just want to get it out there because it's something to think about. And I know that people who are in this chat right now, the reason why you're here, and I will speak like Andrew Tate, is because you are a critical thinker. What's up, Polly Walnuts? How you doing? If you're here in this chat, that means you're a critical thinker. And that's what we're doing here. We like to critically think. Hey, everybody's saying hi to Wolfman. Wolfman's my son, so be very nice. If you're not nice, well, you know. The title of my video tomorrow is How Does Xbox Fix Their Business When Their Image is the Problem? Okay? So that's the title of my video that I'm going to be making tomorrow. And that's something that I want to, you know, I want people to, I know some people are just going to blindly throw hate at me. Fuck you, Mag, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know, you're a fucking pony now and this and that. You know, I don't listen to people like that because you're not. You're not coming from a place of authenticity. Stone Dramble, how you doing, man? Andrew Tate. Now, the thing is, getting back to this, is it's an image issue. Because now the thing is, if now you're trying to build this business, right? Okay, you made this, you made your move. Good or bad? I don't think it's good. But I mean, you know, necessary? Maybe. I don't know. I know, you know. There's a lot of differing opinions on what happened yesterday and what's going to happen moving forward. However, my issue is this. If you're now, this is what I would be focusing on if I was, for example, Matthew Ball. Like, Matthew Ball's got a job ahead of him. I met him in LA. I didn't really talk to him. Colt was talking to him, but I did get to meet him shook his hand, that's it. And then Colt went off and talked to him. Whatever, right? Now, here's the thing. His job now is actually the hardest job. The hardest job is trying to get new customers, right? The existing fan base ain't going anywhere. The psychotic people ain't going nowhere. No matter what happens, there's always like, you know, everybody. There's psychotic Sony guys. There's psychotic Xbox guys. There's psychotic Nintendo guys. Don't ever go after Nintendo, man. Those furries are out of their mind, okay? Those people are crazy. But anyway, the point is that there's always the psychotic subsect that will, you know, do what they do. And then you've got the hardcore fans, which is about 15%. The psychotics are like the 1%. Hardcore 15, and then everybody else is sort of in the casual sort of field, right? Kind of grazing in the field and doing their thing, right? The thing is, what your job is now is not just to ambidextrous in the house. How you doing, man? That's my son's friend. Is that their job now is to attract new customers. They already know they got you. Like if you're like part of that Xbox group, right? The people who went to LA, you know, all the people I met, the people I've met online, the thousands and thousands of people I have on my Xbox friends list and everything else, and all the other people in the community, they ain't going nowhere. So they kind of know they got you. Like they got to, you know, they got the 30 million on this gen or whatever, and then, you know, you still got like 15 million on the last gen. So you still got a lot of people in the ecosystem, 50 million plus, maybe even more because of PC and all that kind of jazz, right? So you've got your fan base. That ain't going nowhere. That's not your job. Your job is to attract new customers. And the thing is this. How do you get them when, for example, let's say you're a new customer, okay? I don't own a video game console. I've never had a video. I want a new video game console. Let me see what these two companies are doing. Okay, let's see what Sony's doing. Okay, so Sony's doing their thing. They're leading the market, whatever. They got great games coming out. Awesome. Oh shit, they're not doing physical anymore? Okay, well, let me think about that because I kind of like to buy physical games. Or maybe I don't give a shit. I just get okay, fine. Like, digital it is, then digital it is. Like most people don't, let's face it, most people don't give a shit. All right? Because if you gave a shit, you know, you wouldn't be on Spotify, you wouldn't be on Netflix, you wouldn't be like, you know what I'm saying? Like let's get real. It's still a group of people, and they do deserve to have their avenue of being able to purchase what they want and how they want. And I don't like the idea that a company can now just basically do whatever the fuck they want, assuming that they could possibly do that because now they have full control in a digital world. I don't like that. But let's say this new customer says, oh, okay, so this one's going to be digital only in January 28th. All right, let me put that on the back burner. Let's see what Xbox is doing. So they go on to, you know, what do you do as a discerning customer? You're going to spend upwards of $1,000 on a new console plus some software, maybe an extra controller. All right, $1,000 is a lot of money. Well, let me go online and check it out. Well, let's do that, folks. We're going to do that live right here in the air. All I have to do is just type in the word Xbox in Google. And this is the problem. Let me stretch my legs. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to stretch. Oh, all the bones crack. All the bones crack when I stand up and I pull my back. I sound like, you know, like Bruce Lee used to, like, before a fight, he would do like all those flexing and all the bones crack. That's exactly what I sound like. I also exercise before the show because I like to get the blood flowing, you know? So you type in Xbox in Google, say, oh, let's do some research on Xbox. Let's see what they're doing. All right, let me read you the headlines. This is a simple Google. All I did was type in Xbox, okay? This is the first thing that shows up. Microsoft's Xbox to cut 3,200 jobs, divest 5 studios in major overhaul. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma admits Microsoft's big bet on Game Pass has failed. This one talks about Elder Scrolls 6 release date is 28/29. Okay, so there's that. The Outer Worlds and grounded studio Obsidian losing around 25% of its staff to Xbox layoffs. Next one. Report. Roughly half of id Software team has been laid off.
Welcome to hell.
Next article. Microsoft is cutting more than 3,000 jobs in Xbox division. Next article. Microsoft to lay off another 4,800 workers, including Xbox gaming division. Next article, Fortune. Exclusive. Xbox's CEO on 3,200 layoffs, 4 studios cut, and her blunt warning that we spread ourselves too thin. And this just goes on and on and on and on. The only one that did not say anything negative was this one right here. Insider leaks the Elder Scrolls 6 release date as 2028, 2029, despite Xbox prioritizing game. That's the only one that wasn't negative. I could have kept going. I could be on the air for another 2 hours reading every headline. All I did was type in X. I didn't even type it Deceiver. I did not even Google Xbox bad, which he put in the chat. All I did was type Xbox. So now, if I'm that customer who's never, I'm about to purchase a console. You looked at the PlayStation and go, okay, it's expensive as fuck. They're not doing physical in the next year and a half or whatever, and that's maybe that's something that might hold me off on that purchase because I like whatever, right? I like choices, but they're not giving me a choice, so let's put that on the side for now. Okay, let's type in Xbox and see what they're doing. And if I typed in Xbox and go, oh shit, and I just read 14 fucking titles of like all these news articles that are just bad, worse, and you're going down the list. Now, the thing is, if you're that customer and you're not connected in this world and you don't know about, I know some people are going to say Xbox tax and all this other shit and whatever else. I know, whatever. Okay? But if you read that from all these news articles, and I know it gets clicks and all that jazz, I know how it works. Are you going to go join that? Are you going to put your $1,000? You have $1,000 in your hand, okay? And you've got that PlayStation where they're saying, okay, well, it's getting more expensive and like whatever. It seems like everything's getting more expensive. Let's not forget Xbox raised their console prices too, right? So they're all keep climbing up and it's not good. And then you say, okay, well, the physical thing is a bit of an issue, so let's see. But then you go to Xbox and you see that. And you're not connected in this world. You're not in this chat. You're not here. You're not on Twitter. You're not part of this community. You're not playing games yet. Whatever. You want to get into an ecosystem. Or you're a parent. You want to buy for your kid. Right? You read that. How many people have consumer confidence and go, oh, shit, let me throw my $1,000 over there? Because all you see is cuts, layoffs, studio closures, studios going away, this, that, whatever. Studio selling and all this other shit. Going independent, leaving Xbox, that. But where would you feel more confident? Maybe Nintendo, actually, because Nintendo doesn't seem to have any bad news, really. Not much in the games department, but I mean, they got a lot going on. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on over there. They got a lot of games. But you see what I'm getting at? So if you're just a random ass consumer and you're not connected in this world and you don't know what's going on, would you Google PlayStation 5 and you Google and of course, the first thing that's going to pop up is going to be the physical thing, right? And if you Google Xbox and you look at those articles, which one are you going to put your and you're forced to buy one of the two, okay? It's like, okay, I'm buying one of the two no matter what. Which one would you buy based on what you just saw? And you're doing your research on it. It's the perception is what I'm talking about. And that is the true battle for Microsoft. It's not what's going on. I mean, it is, but you know what I'm saying? I'm saying from getting a new customer point of view. A new customer doesn't even know what the hell Elder Scrolls is. They don't know what Fallout is. They just want to know where to go. What should I buy? But let's also face it, when it comes to all these things, at the end of the day, most people get it from reference to their friends, whatever. Oh, my kids have a PlayStation, they love it. Or my kids have a Switch, they love it. How do you think, like my kids started playing on Xbox? Because I was playing Xbox primarily back in those days. And what was I doing? I wasn't as agnostic as I am now. Now I play more on PlayStation because I have the PS5 Pro. I love it. And, of course, I game share with my wife, who is, like I said, my house is a stable. It's all ponies. I'm the only one who I have 3 Xboxes. But I'm the only one who owns one. My family doesn't have that. But my kids grew up on it too because, through reference of me. But the thing is, if you're that new customer and you're looking at that, you're looking at this public perception, you're looking at what's going on, you're not going to have consumer confidence in that product, especially as the product gets more and more expensive. That is the new challenge that's facing them. So it's not so much about, well, they have to fix the business. That's clearly a problem. You can't lose 64 cents on the dollar for every dollar invested and think that you're going to just keep getting away with it, especially when the big guy
Satya Nadella
says no more. And let's face it, Amy Hood holds the reins on him. I'm telling you that right now. I think Amy Hood has more pull than Satya does. I think she's running the show. But anyways, the point is that's the true battle. Because if Asha wants to reach 1 billion players a day, which, let's face it, 500 million of those people are playing Candy Crush while they're taking a shit on their jobs. You know what I mean? Let's face it. You're not going to get 1 billion people playing Call of Duty and fucking whatever, Fallout 76. Those people are on the toilet at work playing Candy Crush or in the break room or something like that. That's what I'm getting at. Emperor Hound, how you doing, man? I don't even know if I said hi to you. I know you've been in the chat all night, but, you know. Hey, Crookston, how you doing, man? So that's what I'm getting at. The real battle that people are just kind of go, because they see this news and they're like, okay, well, and the reason why we're paying attention to this news is because we're tuned in, right? But the average consumer doesn't know what's going on. My son, who games 7 days a week, who's in the chat, Wolfman, Ambidextrous is in the chat as well. By the way, channel member, lovely young lad. Right? And the thing is this. They don't know what's going on. If I told them, they say, hey, did you hear about all the layoffs at this and that? No. They don't fucking know. So most people don't know. Right? That's their job internally to fix all that stuff. That's not up to us. That's not up to anybody else. They need to make money. They're going to have to do what they got to do, whatever. I don't know, whatever. I'm hands off on it. Am I happy about it? No, not particularly, because it's been nothing but fumbled management for this entire generation for Xbox. And that's why a lot of people left. They're just like, you know what, man, enough. My wife left. My wife was a hardcore Xbox gamer from the first day of Xbox 360 all the way to the Series X. She had a Series X. In 2023, when they had those 2 years of dog shit, 2022 and 23, she traded it in and got a PS5. She goes, I am fucking sick of this, of waiting for this company, man. And she goes, I'm done. I'm done. She goes, I'm done. And how many other people were just like my wife, who just said, I'm done. And they walked away. And that was the fumble of management before, right? So now this one's trying to, clean up the mess and do whatever. And then, of course, all the other stuff that's going on. With all and I don't agree with all of it. Now, I'm not saying you have to keep these people either. But I think a lot of it had to do with, bad management. I think bad management was the bigger problem. You can have developers working on smaller titles or whatever else, but you cannot spend upwards of $60 to $100 million on a game like South of Midnight and take 7 years to make it. You cannot do that. You know what I mean? But anyways, whatever. That's a whole other conversation. We already had that conversation, so we're not going to get into that. The point is this. They have a new battle, and it's called the Optics Battle. The Optics Battle. You know what I mean? The optics war is the new war, because now you're going to have to change the way that this brand looks. But when you see what I just read to you live on the air in front of everybody, I just picked up the first 10 articles that were there. And do you think that's going to end? No. So that's what they have to battle. They're going to have to battle that, because then when you're trying to attract new customers, they're going to research their product. This is not a $20 impulse buy at I'll just put it in the kid's stocking. Who gives a shit? This is $1,000 now, guys. Because you're not just getting a console. You're going to get a console. You're going to buy an extra controller. You got to play something, so you got to buy games, or you get Game Pass, which, of course, I think is still going to change down the road, but that's down the road. I don't think you're going to see the same Game Pass. I'll tell you this right now. In 27, after all these titles come out, I think in 27 you're going to have a whole different situation on your hands. And then that brings me up to my next point when it talks about 27, speaking of 2027. Now what are you going to do? This is another challenge. There's another challenge that they're going to have to face. You had, this year was already a year with the big titles, right? Forza Horizon 6. You got Halo in a couple of weeks, right? You got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. Bangers. You've got Gears of War E-Day. Bangers. Right? And that dovetailed directly into a third-party banger being GTA 6. These are all big. That's big, right? That's a big year for Xbox. 27, big year for Xbox. Fable starting the year. State of Decay 3. Senua. Clockwork Revolution, another Call of Duty, and who knows what else down the road, right? That's already 5 big titles right there. That's another big year. You just lost 2. You lost 2. Because regardless of what people think, by the way, I had a lot of people commenting me in the chat in my last video about it. Still convinced that State of Decay 3 and Senua are going to Game Pass day one. I'm like, who the fuck said that? Who said that? Can you tell me who said that? I mean, ain't nobody said that. their obligations with those studios is to finish developing it. That's part of the sale of the game. In nowhere is it said that there's any obligation to keep it on Xbox. It says we're going to release the game. What they choose to do with that. Now, they were specifically talking about State of Decay 3, which leads me to another thing. It's a conspiracy. Whoever got Senua, they could do whatever they want with the game. They own it now. But I think in order to sweeten the deal and not close the studio, to sweeten the deal, they said, hey, we're going to help finish the game. That'll be part of the thing to sweeten the deal. Because a lot of these companies out there are not looking to acquire right now. Acquisition is not in everybody's playbook right now because people are letting shit go because they can't afford it anymore. And so in order to sweeten the deal, they're like, fine, fuck, buy Ninja Theory, will help finish the game. How about that? All right, we'll help finish the game. Or whatever. Buy Undead Labs, will help finish it. But to think that it's going into Game Pass day one, I don't think so, guys. And that's that. You know, like I said, for example, if it was reported not by me, I reported, I talked about it. But four other news outlets, and now many more, are now saying the same thing. Quote: in his report on the layoffs at Xbox, Stephen Totillo, this was Stephen Totillo, it was just one of 5 people that I read, says the deal for Undead Labs, I want you to pay attention to this because a lot of people shit on me in the comments section of my last video, says the deal for Undead Labs calls, this is quote by the way, calls for continued funding and eventual release of State of Decay 3, but will not obligate the game to any Xbox controlling terms, because otherwise, why are you selling it? If you're selling it to me, I'm not following your rules. I'm like, it's mine now, motherfucker. That's like me buying your house, and you're saying, excuse me, you're going to buy the house? Well, I want the garden the same way that it is now. I'd be like, fuck you, it's my house. I'll shit in the garden if I feel like it as soon as I buy it. That's my business what I do with it. Let me read that again. Quote, this is from the deal, not from Stephen Totillo. Calls for continued funding and eventual release of State of Decay 3, but will not obligate the game to any Xbox controlling terms. That includes the game being available on Game Pass. Now, here's a thought. Here's a thought, folks. Okay? Here's a thought. I got 2 thoughts. The first one is this. If I was purchasing Undead Labs, and let's say I'm sitting across the table from Booty, okay? All right. And then I got Booty right there, and I got Asha next to him. Okay. And then like, hey, what do you think about putting it on? Like, okay, you're buying the studio Undead Labs? All right, cool. Obviously, you're buying the IP, so you get State of Decay 3. What do you think about putting it on Game Pass? I'd be like, how about fuck no? Because, I mean, it came from their lips. They're like, this ain't working. And she said it herself. She said it herself. Game Pass is one of the reasons why it's one of the things that's not working. Oh, by the way, I have another quote here, by the way, from this is actually from Windows Central. So here's another one. Quote, will not obligate the game to have any Xbox controlling terms such as having the game be on Game Pass. That's another outlet. Okay? Now, here's the other thing. Where did she say it? 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 Hold on, give me a second here. Damn it, I lost it. It's okay. The point is this. I know exactly what she was saying. What she was saying is that they tried, the multi-platform, they put their bets on Game Pass, this and that, whatever, and it did not succeed, and the business is not healthy. And they're losing 64 cents on the dollar. So, that being the case, if I were the purchaser of Undead Labs and State of Decay 3, and I'm sitting across from them, I'm like, then if you're telling me that it's not working, then why the fuck would I put it on your service? I'll put it on your service if you pay me a huge amount of money to do it. You give me a bag to make up for loss of sales, then I'll do it. Let's also not forget that State of Decay 2 sold 4.5 million copies even in Game Pass. It still sold 4.5 million copies. If I was that new company, I'd be like, fuck no, you're not getting that in Game Pass. Not a chance. And I would be willing to bet that Asha and Booty do not have the go-ahead to give them a bag to put it on Game Pass. They're trying to shave the shit back. You think they're going to dump a big pile of cash onto this new company and give them the game and give them the title and give them the IP? And you think they're going to dump a bag on their front porch and say, put it on Game Pass day one? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Not a chance. Not a chance. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will literally come right onto this show and be like, guys, here I am, free shots. You know how they used to do that and shit in school? Free shots. And then your buddies come up and beat the crap out of you because you had a bet and you lost the bet. I'll stand right here and I'll take all the shots. You guys can rip me to shreds in the chat. But now, if you think about that, everything I just said, if I'm that buyer, and you read those reports about Asha talking about how they haven't been financially successful by placing their bets, and one of those bets was Game Pass. I'd be like, why the hell would I put my new game there that I just bought from you? I just bought this studio. Now you want me to put it over there? Not a fucking chance. It ain't going there. I'm telling you right now, it ain't going to no Game Pass. And a lot of people in the chat saying, it's confirmed it's going to Game Pass. I'm like, from fucking who? Like, where do you guys get that? Like, these guys. And, of course, I don't recognize any of their names. It's not like it's fucking like Grandpa Barbecue saying that. Like, it's coming. Like, it's not people I know. It's always some strange name I've never heard of before. Always say, it's coming to Game Pass. It's been confirmed. And I'm like, where the fuck do you get your information from? Like, none of that happened. It's like literally, what is that thing see on Instagram with Jonathan Frakes? It never happened. It was a fabrication. It was a lie. It's not true. It never happened. Right? It's like that never happened, guys. That never happened. So, like, can we cut that out? The only thing that she confirmed is that the game is going to finish development and it's going to release. That's it. Not another word about anything else. And like I said, if it's going to another company, what obligation would they have? And it says right there in the stipulations of the deal that they have no Xbox obligations because you bought it. So what on earth would possess you to put it on Game Pass day one? I would never do it. Hey, Necron, how you doing, man? So that's what I'm saying. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to be like nasty or rude or anything. I know I come across that way because I'm Italian. When I yell, I always sound like I'm mad or something. I'm not mad. It's just the way I talk. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to get a point across. The point is that nowhere did they say that. Now, the other thing is, the one that actually is a little bit more suspicious to me is Senua. And Ninja Theory. What the hell is going on over there? Not a peep. Who bought them? That's the one that would, like, I know Sony doesn't have, Sony's cutting back on, like, Bungie because Bungie didn't produce. And let's face it, they paid way too much money for Bungie and job protection on that kind of stuff. I thought that was a big mistake buying Bungie. They never should have touched them. But I mean, if Sony had the money for it, I mean, I would buy Ninja Theory. And the first thing I would do is release Senua exclusive to PlayStation. If I was PlayStation. Exclusive to PlayStation. And the next thing I would do is have them work on a Heavenly Sword 2 right away. That's exactly what I would do. Necron, that's funny. So, like, yeah, I don't know who the hell bought him. Like, I mean, obviously nobody knows. But apparently we're going to find out this summer. Well, I mean, we still got like 2 more months of summer. So, I mean, we're going to find out real soon. But, I mean, I'm really interested to see who ended up getting these 2 companies and then what they're going to do with them. But anyways, my thoughts is that I don't think either one of those games are going to Game Pass. It makes absolutely no financial sense to do so, particularly when the woman herself literally said that it wasn't working for them and it was not financially feasible. They're literally losing money. Every dollar they spent, they lost money.
Asha Sharma wins.
So,
Fatality.
I don't know, man. Hey, Ghost Gaming, how you doing, man? He says, hi, Mag. Didn't she say all the games in the showcase will be in Game Pass? Yeah, that was another thing I was talking about. Hey, Gravemaker, how you doing, man? Yeah, she did say that. But, I mean, I was there. I was at the showcase in Los Angeles there with Lord Sovereign from Iron Lords. Me and him alone.
Welcome to hell.
Right? We're sitting there alone. And we're watching this show. Because I don't like being in crowds. So I was off to the side. So we're watching this show. And now both of those studios, you sold them. Which means they're still coming to Xbox. It means they're still coming to Xbox. There'll be multi-platform. Well, maybe. That's another thing. Maybe. Who's confirmed that? They haven't confirmed that either. They just said they'll help finish the development of the game, and I know exactly why. Because those studios were a hard sell. If you look at what they did, yeah, Ninja Theory's got the mocap studio, as Gravemaker was saying there, maybe set for the mocap studio because they have a lot of excellent technology there. But their last game didn't hit. And you know how it is in the business world, folks. What have you done for me lately? They're going to look at your last thing and go, wow, that was a financial flop. Right? So now the prospective buyer is going to sit there across from Asha, you know? She's going to sit across from Asha and Booty. And then say, why should I buy you? Give me a reason. Your last game was a flop. It was beautiful, but it was a flop. So there's a big risk for me to buy this. As a buyer, that's what I would do. I'd be like, this is a big risk for me to take on this company. What motivation do I have to buy your studio that you're trying to dump on us? And then Asha could sit there and go, well, we'll help finish the development of the game to, you know, sweeten the deal, like I said, and to lessen the blow of having to purchase not only the studio, but then also the staff, right? Because you gotta support the staff as well. You got to pay them, you know, their benefits, all that other shit, vacation, salaries, bonuses, all that kind of stuff, right? And of course, they have to have a living space. And I don't mean a living space like their home. I mean like their studio space, their mocap studio, all that kind of stuff, the IP. You got to pay for all that stuff. So therefore, I think they sweeten the deal by saying, fine, we'll help finish development. But that doesn't actually translate to... it's going everywhere. Unless she said something I didn't read. But I don't think so. Like I said, will not obligate the game to any Xbox controlling terms. That is an actual quote from the terms of that deal, specifically with Undead Labs. We've heard nothing about Senua and Ninja Theory, so we're gonna have to wait on that one. But anyway, I'm just thinking out loud here. So I don't know. You guys just take it as some food for thought, something to think about. You know, something that you could say, hey man, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see. And Captain Hank has become a channel member. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Captain Hank. And Captain Hank, this is just for you, man. You're a maggot now, buddy, so you can't escape. Here it is.
Welcome to hell, motherfucker!
Welcome to hell, Captain Hank. Everybody say hi to Captain Hank. He's now joined the ranks. And Captain Hank, of course, now you have access if you flip around somewhere in the live chat there, and I'm sure one of my lovely mods will do it. Paulie Walnuts, what's going on, man? I think I said hi to you, but I'm not sure. Captain Hank, you now have access to the members-only Discord. Go make some friends, man. We got hundreds and hundreds of people in there, channel members that are in there that are absolutely amazing, and man, the community's so awesome, and everybody just helps each other out. It doesn't matter what you play, man. PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, Steam, everybody's in there, and everybody takes pictures of their gaming setups and their rigs and all kinds of cool shit. It's awesome, man. So, you know, go join it. Go join it. You find some new gaming friends. We have some good times in there, man. Jay Allen brings up a point. He says, yeah, but they also footed the bill for 8 years, so that should be enough investment to get in the Game Pass. Okay, now here's the thing. Jay Allen, let's say we're having a conversation. It's me, Jay Allen, Asha, and Booty. What would my answer be? My answer would be, sounds like a you problem. If I'm a businessman and I'm buying your business, doing you a favor to buy that business, I would say, that sounds like a you problem. Why should I give a shit what you did for the last 8 years? I'm not involved with you. You want me to buy the studio. Hey, Josh Duckwell, how you doing, man? Dominic, how are you? Yeah, Dominic, I did see that. I'm going to look into that more. The Sony CEO dumped 50% of his stock. I don't know. Maybe he's retiring or maybe he's like running for the hills. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. But I'm going to look into more of that. Hey, Doom Riffy, how you doing, man? I'm the secret buyer of Senua. It was me, ladies and gentlemen. It was me. It was me the whole time. It was me the whole time. Anyways, the thing is, Jay Allen, this is what I would say. If they say, well, we footed the bill for 8 years, I'd be like, yeah, that's great. Why the fuck should I care what you did? And I'm like, you want me to buy it now? What you did for the last 8 years is on you. That's a you problem. That's what I would say. I'd say that sounds like a you problem. It's a YP, not an MP. Not a my problem. It's a YP, your problem. That's what I would say. Hey, Taylor Ray. So that's what I would say if I was the prospective buyer. I'd be like, listen, man, I'm going to buy the studio for whatever, $500 million. Well, I mean, that seems a little steep. Let's say $100 million or whatever. Then I would say what you did with it, your mismanagement of that studio is on your head. And I said, so if you want me to buy it, I'll buy it, but I get to do what I want with it because I'm buying it. But they're like, I'm not sure if I want to buy it because the last game was, you guys know how negotiations go. Have you ever been to a flea market? It's the same shit, just bigger dollars. That's all. Instead of heckling for $5, you're heckling for $5 billion. It's the same fucking thing. And so that guy sit there going, I don't know. You know how it is. They start shifting in their chair. They're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the last game was a flop. I don't know. You know how it is. You know, like a used car salesman. You're like arguing with the used car salesman. He's like, I don't know. The tires look a little floppy. And then the used sales guy's like, fine. I'll throw in $50 off a month if you finance it. And you're like, I don't know. $50 seems a little low. I don't know. The air conditioning seems like it's going to break in the next couple of years. I don't know. And the guy's like, fine, I'll throw in a fixed air conditioning and 5-year warranty on the parts. Sold. Right? And so this guy is sitting there about to buy this studio is going, I don't know. And then Asha goes, fine, I'll give you 5 years warranty on the parts and we'll help finish develop the game. Sold. And then the guy gets up and shakes hands. That's how it's done. As some of the people I know some people are not fond of, but they coined the phrase, the art of the deal. That's exactly how it's done. Ghost Gaming Station, he was right. David Merrifield, how you doing, man? Glad to see you in the chat. Yes, I'm well. I am well. So that's what I absolutely saw happen. Now, this is what I'm thinking is going on. That's what I'm thinking happened with the Undead Lab sale. As the Senua, complete mystery. I know I used Ninja Theory as an example in the little show that I did, my little skit I did for you. But I mean, that's what happened with Undead. 100%. 100%. 100% that's how it went down. Like I said, it's the art of the deal. You got to kind of like show like you're like sort of interested, but you need a better deal. I don't know. And it's a lot of money, and they're not producing. I like the mocap studio. That's enticing, but the game didn't do well. I don't know. You right? And that's when Asha comes in and does her thing. Fine, we'll help finish the game. Whatever. Just take the fucking studio. That's basically what it ends up, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Comcast 100% is in the wings there, Borbs. I know Comcast has been circling gaming for a while, and don't be surprised if Comcast and Microsoft have some kind of a conversation in the near future. You can fucking bookmark that right now. Bookmark that right now. But anyways, that'll be a conversation for another day if something ever were to come to fruition about that. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had for you guys tonight. I just want to get all that information out there. Obviously, things will continue to develop. We're going to continue talking about it. We got more things to talk about. I'll be doing some more videos. But like I said, the main thing that I wanted to take away from today, especially from the latter half of the show here, is the optics war that Xbox is going to have to face now. Not so much the business side. The business side is an internal struggle that they're going to have to deal with. We're not involved in that. The only thing that we're involved in is we're customers at the end of the day. And you choose whether you want to spend your money there or not. It's entirely up to you. Obviously, we have our opinions about how we felt about what happened and whatever else. And it's fine. All opinions are respected here. That's how we run here. As long as we don't get personal with each other or whatever, right? But other than that, all opinions are respected on this channel. That being the case, the other thing that I think is more important is that if they're going to try to build this band for the future, and hey, Joe Dunmore! How you doing, brother? You're coming over while I'm doing my closing statements. Yeah, maybe, Borbs. Maybe, Borbs. Maybe Comcast is part of that. You never know. But keep your eye on Comcast, folks. I'd like to end it with this. If you're trying to build those new customers, the front-facing image of the company is truly what's taking the beating right now. And that's the real war that they're going to have to fix, because customer confidence in the brand is at an absolute all-time low. And if you're trying to attract new people, especially seeing the discourse that you see online, like I said, go to Google and type in Xbox and try to find a positive article, right? So that's a war they're going to have to face. Magnum, we talked about it at the beginning of the show, man. The first 45 minutes, you weren't here yet. Magnum, we talked about Sony's fuckery and how I thought it was really funny that they answered the physical thing with a with an advertisement for a fighting stick. It's just so comical. I can't even not laugh about it. Like, it was just so it's so insane, man. Yeah, ambidextrous. Like, eventually, trade in your games while they still have value, and just buy gift cards with them, dude. And here's the other thing, ambidextrous. At some point, find somebody you trust. By the way, this is another thing I want to talk about. I'm just gonna leave it with this. I know I sort of. This is like a Lord of the Rings. Return of the King, 6 endings, okay? You're getting another ending here. There's another thing I wanted to just kind of briefly put it out there, because, I like to help consumers as much as humanly possible, and I know that you guys really know all this stuff, but some people are not really well aware of it, so I'm here for the customer, because I'm a customer, and you're a customer, and therefore I'll always look out for you guys. Right? Always look out for you guys. That's always what I'm going to do. Now, the thing is, if we are facing a full digital future, which we will, by the way, the World Cup, Alex? Norway. Let's go! Raymond Gaming Forge, exactly. When he says, Mag, did you hear about Halo and Activision? That's what I was talking about earlier in the show. You may have missed it. Where I was saying that they're basically going to conglomerate all these studios together and just going to be working on this stuff together, and they're going to crank out games every 3 years like Call of Duty. I'm telling you, the entire Xbox division is going to be modeled after Activision, and it's going to be like the Call of Duty dev cycle. That's exactly what's going to happen. Anyways, if we're facing a full digital future and you have no intention of leaving gaming, which I imagine most of us will not leave the medium, then game share with somebody, folks. Game share. Game share is available on Xbox. It's available on PlayStation. Okay? Punty! How you doing, man? Game share. Then everything is 50% off. Period. You buy one game, your buddy gets it for free. Your buddy buys it, you got the game for free. So essentially, every game you're going to get from now on, if you're facing a digital-only future, then every game, if you game share with someone, is 50% off. Now, the other thing is, too, if you get it on sale, everybody I know game shares. And why? Because it's like, if you get a game for $50 or $40, it's on sale, okay? Black Friday or Boxing Day or whatever the hell, right? Spring sale, summer sale, this and that. Okay, you do all of that, and what do you end up doing? Okay, you get the game for $40. Well, if you split everything down the middle 50-50 when you're game sharing with somebody, you bought a brand new game for $20. It's the only other option. So if they give us no choice of a digital-only future, then you gotta be savvy, and then you gotta work around it. Find someone you trust, because you're gonna be giving them an email with a password. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to give them that, and they have to give you yours, someone you trust, and that's all there is to it. There's a lot of friends in this industry or whatever that we could all be friends with, and someone you could actually trust with an email address and your password or whatever, and you game share 50% off every game. That's all there is to it. You know what I'm saying? That's the way. Oh, my Lord in heaven. I very rarely get to see her. She's basically a unicorn, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the one, the only, from down under. We're talking about... Ladies and gentlemen, Epic Treasure has made it to the chat, and she sends a bunch of happy wave signs. How you doing, Epic? It's been so long. And I watch your streams and stuff, okay? So I'm there. I just don't interact with the chat and stuff. I just don't do that. Hey, Chi-Chi, what's going on? Chi-Chi's in the house! Hey! Go sub to Epic Treasure's channel right now. Right now. Well, no. Well, wait till the show's over. But like when the show's over, go sub to her channel immediately and go check her out, eh? The woman puts in some serious work, okay? She puts in serious work. Go help her out. Anyways, game share. Oh, there you go. Epic Treasure says it right there. Family Steam game share is godly. There you go. And what is Steam, ladies and gentlemen? All digital. There you go. Chi-Chi in the chat says, it's funny, the two biggest games of last year were full digital, no pushback. You kind of mean like GTA 6? Like, with all the outrage that's going on, and I understand. And like I said, I prefer options. But they're not going to give us much of a choice, folks. Let's be honest. They're not going to give us options, and they're all going to do it. Nintendo with their little virtual whatever. Their little virtual cartridges as well. I mean, never mind the little chiclets that you have to stick inside the Switch, with the Switch 2. Like their little virtual cartridges. Xbox with Game Pass and their all-digital console. With an S. There's more than one. Series S and whatever else. They're going to angle towards it. They're all doing it. And all the publishers, they don't want to fucking make physical anymore. They're not making enough money on it. They're losing money on it. Well, not losing money, but they're not making as much money. They all want digital. And then when GTA 6 goes all digital, which it did, how many people refunded that? Did you ever see any polls on that on Twitter? I didn't see one. I did not see one. Chi-Chi, you're right. It's funny how that works, eh? I didn't see anybody refunding their GTA 6 pre-order. Fuck. No, in fact, it went up by 11 million. It went up by 11. Hey, Le Pedro's in the house as well. How you doing? Did I see anybody refunding their GTA 6 because it was digital only? No. It's what I like to call selective outrage. It's kind of like also selective amnesia when it comes to certain things. When people don't want to hear something like, oh, I don't remember that happening. And I'm like, yeah, because you didn't like it. Epic Treasure says, I wish I loved Nintendo. All their games look so cool. I just haven't enjoyed any yet. Well, I mean, you are playing Pal World, and of course, as Nintendo would think, it's actually Pokemon. So you're kind of already playing a Nintendo game now. So. And they're going to take you to court for it. That's right, a game key card, Magnum. That's what it was. Yeah, the virtual whatever. The Switch 2 is great, man. I played it like when I traveled to LA on the plane both ways and stuff. The Switch 2 is a fantastic little console, man. I love that thing. And Stellar Blade is coming out for later this year, and I love that game too. It's my game of 2024. I'm gonna buy it again. I even bought South of Midnight for Switch 2 because I love South of Midnight. It was my favorite Xbox game of 2025, to be quite honest. I really enjoyed it, and I bought it again for Switch 2. It was a great game. So anyhow. Well, folks, that is it for the evening, and I'm glad you guys were all here for the wild show tonight. Damn near 3 hours. I didn't even expect it to go that long, but you know how it is, man. We had a lot to talk about. But before we go, hey, this Thursday, don't forget, we've got Assassin's Creed Black Flag. We're going to be doing it on the channel. That's launch day. We're going to be doing it. So I'm going to be doing 2 streams. I'm going to be doing a stream earlier in the day. Probably late morning, my time, of course. My time, probably like 11 or, somewhere around there, 10 or 11 in the morning. We're going to be doing a stream of Assassin's Creed on launch day. Assassin's Creed Black Flag, we'll be doing that on launch day. And then on Friday Night Live, we will be continuing doing another stream for Black Flag. Now, between now and the end of the month, before Halo comes out, I will be hosting one more Forza Horizon 6 community night. So we'll be doing all of that. So yes, we're going to be... Arr! That's right, Epic Treasure. That's right. A whole lot of R is going to be going on. Hey, Nefarious Noob, how you doing, man? You popped in for the last 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm just saying goodbye. I'm just telling you what's going on. So I got a video coming out tomorrow about the optics war that's coming up for Microsoft or for Xbox. And... I'll be dropping that video tomorrow. And thank you guys all for being here tonight and for all the support. Even just hitting the like button helps me out. Everybody else with the member chats, the gifted members, the super chats, everything that's come in, everything is appreciated, and it's the only thing that keeps the channel going, man. So it's gonna be awesome. But anyways, this Thursday, somewhere in the morning, I will be on launch day. I will be playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag right here on the channel. And then, of course, for Friday Night Live, we will be doing it again. And then, like I said, sometimes in the next few weeks, we will be doing another Forza Horizon 6 community game night, which will be hosted by me, but it will be run by Cerebral Paul, my good friend Cerebral Paul, the man who knows how to roll. Every pun intended. He is will be running the game because he's opened more of the map than I have, and we'll be doing that. And then, of course, after Black Flag and Forza, we will dovetail directly into Halo. And of course, top tier maggots get first choice on joining my squad, and every other maggot out there, we will be rotating people in and out. So we're going to be doing all of that. Yeah, so I'm not drinking tonight, Magnum. No, I'm going out tomorrow night with an old friend. So that's always going to get messy. It always starts off as 1 pint and it turns into 11, and so you know how that goes. But anyways, everybody, have yourself a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for being here. It was such a great show, and I had such a great time doing it. Stay magnificent, and we'll see you all Thursday morning for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Everyone, have yourself a great night. Talk to you then.